This is Roll Squad.
Roll.
You. Oh. Gentle arm. Me.
Yeah, good. Let's go ahead and kick it on over. Boom, shakalaka. Yeah, I'll take it from here. Hey there, and welcome back to the House of G. I'm the original geek and the original gamer. Who dog? Yep. Today is Monday, so you know what that means. Yep, House of G. Time to dive into a little bit of pop culture here, specifically in this case, my own personal comic book collection. My life has been a little chaotic and nomadic at times, but I am very fortunate and blessed to still have possession of my own personal comic book collection, pushing at least bare minimum 600-700 issues, possibly upwards of 1,000 issues. That's one of the things we're going to be doing here in the hopefully not too distant future, cataloging my collection, find out exactly how many issues I got here. Well, I'm just glad and grateful to still have my collection, period, end of story, full stop. Who doggy? So that's what we've been doing here on the House of G, going through it. I've had whole stacks of comic books that need to be bagged and boarded. So we've been going through them issue by issue, skimming through them, taking a look at the stories, the characters and whatnot, comparing the modern stuff to the old school stuff, checking out some of the changes, trying to shine a little bit of light on how we got to the state of modern comic books and pop culture in general. I think we made some surprising discoveries, in my humble opinion. And yeah, we're gonna keep on digging here. We're doing the deep dive. We're going places nobody else wants to go. And well, sometimes I like to think that's because I am the original geek, the original gamer. A lot of these channels out there, they're I was a geek, I was a gamer before they were even born. Let's put it that way. And yeah, so some of the stuff, they get some of it right, but they have a tendency to stop short once it hits a certain point. I don't know if it makes them uncomfortable or, if they're not really as invested as some of us original geeks and gamers are. Boom shakalaka. Oh my goodness, let me tell you. Yep. It's not always a popular thing to say, and it does make it difficult to build a channel, let's put it that way, but it is what it is. And you know what, I'm just gonna be out here doing my thing as best I can. Yeah, I got a little bit of a late start today. Main channel is going strong for where it's at and everything. Very busy with it, developing ideas and whatnot. It is my main channel. This is my side channel. As much as I love doing this, Unfortunately, at this point, I don't have time to do a whole lot more than what I'm doing right now. So hopefully maybe someday that'll change. We'll see here. But in the meantime, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. Yummy. All right, so yes, let's go ahead and get into it here. So when it comes to comic book collecting, I don't do it for financial gain. I don't do it because maybe someday this comic book's gonna be worth some money. With that said, it doesn't mean I'm stupid. I do want to keep them in as best condition as I can, which is why we're doing this. And but at the same time, I got no problem pulling them out, taking a look at them, reading them, because that's the whole point of comic books, is to read the comic book. A lot of people out there that they call themselves collectors, they're not comic book fans. They're just collectors. They're literally collecting this stuff, hoping that someday they're going to get rich off of it. That's like the dumbest reason to get into comic books. Completely defeats the purpose. Well, it's So yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. So part of the fun of reading, being into comic books is the collecting part. You bag them on board, and you box them, you put them in storage, catalog them. It's like, hey, this is what I got. There is a certain measure of bragging rights there. You want to keep them in good condition. And I did stumble across something from one company called BCW. They got some pretty cool boxes there, if you ask me. This is getting full. This is the box we started off with the House of G. Oh my gosh, it's getting full. It's a 150 issue box theoretically, and I'm running out of room, and it's making this part a little more difficult than it used to be. So we got one Transformers. Now this is the IDW version, but they do have that old school Transformers look and feel. And then on the side here we got one Optimus Prime wielding the Spark of Life. Kind of hard to see with the green screen, but it is there. Boom chakalaka. It is a lot of fun, let me tell you. It just adds a whole nother dimension to comic book collecting, let me tell you. So when I first saw these, I was pretty excited. This is not a paid endorsement. I just love these boxes that much, and they're pretty solid comic book boxes in my humble opinion. Eesh. For the most part. I have been accessing these way more than I might. So there's a little, overall they're good boxes. Like anything, made out of cardboard. You want to take care of them as best you can. Now on the lid here, we got one Optimus Prime cleaning the clock of one a Megatron doggy. So yeah, that is just too cool for school right there. As classic good versus evil. That's how I like my comic books. I'm so over this wishy-washy, good is bad, bad is good nonsense. Which is why I prefer the old school stuff. Getting back to the old, just the good old days of pop culture, comic books, entertainment, if you know what I'm saying. And that's an unpopular thing to say, and that is just, kind of a sad state of affairs right there. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with this one here. We're starting off with Image Comic Books Prophet. Now this one I'm not as familiar with. I recognize the character and everything. Hold on here. Who is the Stephen Platt? Okay, that's that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The artwork, I recognize the artwork. I couldn't remember the guy's name. Yeah, the penciler is Stephen Platt. Yeah, he was big with Image back in the day, and I don't know what's up with him in recent years. I have no idea what happened to him. The character, I'm passingly familiar with the character Prophet. Like I said, this is Image Comic Books. This is issue number 3. Let's see what we got here. Does not give the year, nothing like that. Let's see if we can find it here. This is from November of 1995. So this is right before that whole turn where comic books took a weird turn around between 94 and 96. So this is right smack in the middle of it, actually. I don't know how much it affected Image. Now, it's entirely possible the Image did not bend the knee. They stood their ground. I don't have enough Image comic books. We haven't gone through enough in my Image comic books here to be able to really get a clear picture. But as far as Marvel and DC goes, something happened around 94, 96, in that time frame. Something happened. Stuff took a change, like a very visible, in-your-face, no-holds-barred change. And yeah, still trying to sort that one out. Now, let's see if this gives us any information regarding this prophet character. So, it starts off with this is a science fiction-esque type character. It starts off, he's flying with this spaceship and everything into the cosmos. Yeah, very science fiction-y, futuristic. So, yeah, if you're into science fiction and stuff like that, this might be up your alley. Let's see here. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, yeah, so yeah, I got a little bit of a late start because I'm just... main channel, like I said, starting to come together. I'm just kind of losing my mind right now, trying to keep up with everything. So I did get a little bit of a late start there. Okay, so let's see. Boom shakalaka. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. Wow. Hold on. So yeah, it looks like he's stumbled across a very large ship right here. Boom. And that's compared to his little fighter thing. That's a very big ship. Curious as to what's going on here. Is it friend? Is it foe? Who knows? So he's coming in. Yeah, he's looking to dock with the ship. Oh, I guess it's friend. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on here. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, what's going on here? So this guy literally like pops up out of nowhere. You got this little portal looking thing. And then boom, there's this dude. And apparently he's like from 75 years in the future. I don't know if it's an actual physical, if that's him actually physically there, or if it's like some sort of like temporal hologram type deal or something. I have no idea. This is yeah, I would have to sit here and read this. Like I'm just very passingly familiar with the character. I don't remember anything about this. Yeah, so apparently there's some time travel involved regarding the future of the cosmos. And this guy called Prophet. You know what? Maybe that's got something to do with it. He's in communication with the future, so maybe that's why he's called Prophet, because he has future information. That could have something to do with that. Maybe we'll find out here. It's an interesting. Yeah, you'd have to sit down and read this thing to really get a full feel for it, for sure. Just because, like I said, I'm very passingly familiar with the character. I honestly don't remember anything about him other than the name Prophet and kind of like the general look of the character. That's all I really remember. I'm not even sure I've got any other issues of this title. Hold on. Okay, so they actually quote the Bible in here. I'm wondering if this has like a biblical basis for it, possibly, which wouldn't be surprising. That is a very common thing throughout comic books up until recent years, if you know what I'm saying. Before that, before the last like 10, 15 years, comic books actually drew pretty heavily upon the Bible for inspiration with their characters and stories and whatnot. So this is, I think this is the character narrator. Okay, so hold on a second. Before thee I prostrate myself before mine enemies. I suffer for thee, O Lord, as he suffered. I am thy rage. It does have like a biblical, almost like a biblical feel to it, but I don't think that's actual scripture. But then it does actually pop up with a little bit of scripture right here. Yeah, so that's him. I think that's just him talking, like an inner dialogue or something, inner monologue. And then there's an actual bit of scripture right there. I'm going to go ahead and read this one. I'm curious as to see where they're going with this. This is Isaiah 55, 3 to 16, I think. If I'm reading that right, it's not really, that's not really what you'd expect. I think that's what it is. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the fire of coals, and bringeth forth a weapon for his work. and I've created a waster to destroy. Okay, now I have to look this up because I want to see how accurate this was actually carried over. Let's see here. Isaiah 55, 3:16. Hold on. Oh, you know. Hold on. Hey, they put it in here. Okay, so that is not it. Isaiah 5:55, is definitely not it. Hold on. Yeah, this format, I don't know this format. It doesn't look right. Okay, so we got Isaiah 55. Yeah, there is no verse 16. So where did they get this from? You will have created the smith that bloweth the fire of coals, and bringeth forth a weapon for his work. And I mean, that's definitely Isaiah 55. Where did they get this from? I'm just trying to figure out where they got this from. What? Okay, yeah. So far, this is not. Behold, created the smith that the fire of coals. Because the chapter and verse is not like the format's not. Wait a minute. What the funky coma did it, dude? What? Okay, so as far as I can tell, the actual verse itself is accurate. Behold, I've created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. But they have this listed as Isaiah 55.3, 16, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's actually Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. So the chapter is completely wrong, and then there's a 55.3. I don't know what that's supposed to be at all. So there is some sort of malarkey going on, but the actual scripture itself does exist, and they got the they got it partially correct on where it's located. I don't know. Yeah, I got no idea what's going on there, but the actual bit of scripture there is accurate. So, like I've stated in the past, comic books do like to, at least up until the last decade or two, they actually did draw pretty heavily upon biblical sources, and I mean, that's just a fact, a straight up fact, and that could be why some people weren't really interested in comic books, because of that biblical source. I never had a problem with that. I was cool with it. As long as they did it right, I was cool with it. And nowadays, they're very clearly getting away from that. And that is a problem. They're definitely shooting for more of a popular, but at the same time, it is blowing up in their face. It's very strange, because the more they get away with it, the more it blows up in their face. But then, like, people reveal it. They call themselves fans, but then they're into some really twisted stuff, and it's just like, it's just a very strange situation, let me tell you. Okay, so we got the prophet here, something to do with the future, but then they do inject some biblical verse, and then there's this figure here who is clearly supposed to be Jesus. I don't know if this is just an artistic representation of Jesus Christ himself, or if it's entirely, or if it's supposed to be this guy, like, masquerading as like a messiah. I don't know. At this point, it's difficult to say. I'm not really sure where they're going with it at this point, so it does make it a bit questionable. Normally, I'd give them the benefit of the doubt, and this is Image instead of Marvel or DC, But yeah, we'll keep going through it here and see if we can figure this out to some extent. So you got this guy. He's actually got kind of a Masters of the Universe feel to him. If you look at his costume and everything, that symbol on his chest and everything, I get this almost like this He-Man vibe, but he's got Skeletor's colors and everything. So he's like kind of a mishmash of He-Man and Skeletor almost. So I'm not really sure who he's supposed to be. I think he's the bad guy. He's doing his dialogue thing. It's a little confusing. Yeah, without sitting down and reading it. Plus, this is issue number 3. There's another bit of scripture from Amos. And I'll slay the residue of them with the sword. There shall not be one of them flee away, and there shall not be one of them escape. Well, I'm going to go and give him the benefit of the doubt that is out of the Bible. It does sound vaguely familiar. As far as Amos. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and look that up. Amos. Let's see if, see how accurate they got the, saw the Lord somebody said this, I will slay the last one with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Shall not be one of them that flee away. Okay, this could be a different, you get the different translations around now, so like King James Version uses the old style of, English and everything. Versus, like, say, the New International Version, which is the actual English language is more modern, let's put it that way. But it seems to be accurate enough. But the chapter, it's chapter 9. This says 6-9 thing. I don't know where they're getting that from, but the scripture itself that they're using in this is actually accurate. So as far as that goes, if you just pop it in, we're talking about prophet from Image, number 3. What was it? 1995, November of 1995. So that's actually pretty close to 96 there. I'm just trying to get I vaguely remember the character prophet. I don't remember much about him specifically. But he is dealing with some future events, and he's living in a timeline. He's got a visitor from the future, 75 years in the future, and that's about all I know at this point. So he's talking to himself. He's like, "Is this what I was created for? To be the reclaimer of God's most precious gift?" Okay, so I'm getting the feeling that this guy, he's a warrior. But he's also like a warrior of faith or something, and so that does make him, if that's the case, it does make him an intriguing character, at least for me. And then it does explain why there are actual biblical scripture scattered throughout the story. But without knowing anything about the character, it's impossible for me to know exactly what the creator of this character is going for. So I would, in fact, have to pick up some back issues and, explore the character more in that regard. Honestly, it could explain why the character wasn't a bigger hit with mainstream media, because it is heavily influenced by the Bible and whatnot. And as we all know, that's a no-go, especially in modern pop culture and entertainment, which is just annoying for me because it's like, I got no problem with it. There have been some pictures released from the set of Thor: Love and Thunder with Natalie Portman, the bisexual Thor replacement for the Asgardian people. and then the director himself, they're hanging out, they're kissing each other, making out with each other. This is what they're pushing in mainstream entertainment, folks, and this is why I'm doing stuff like this, because I'm over it. I'm tired of mainstream media. I'm tired of mainstream pop culture. They've gone so far off the rails. It's not even watchable anymore. It's straight up laughable. It's downright vile and disgusting. And I'm ready back to the old days of pop culture, comic books, stuff like that, movies. If they're not going to do it, then I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to try and create my own as best I can with the limited resources I've got available, which is one of the reasons why I'm working so hard on my main channel. Because I do have some plans for that channel, and if by some miracle it succeeds, I'm going to be doing my own thing. And as ambitious as it sounds, I mean, mainstream pop culture and entertainment is not giving us a choice. So that is what it is. It's going to be an uphill battle, no doubt about that. It's already an uphill battle, let me put it to you that way. But it was expected, and I like to think that I'm ready for that fight. So let's go ahead and keep going here. So yeah, dude, this prophet guy popped into this battle. I don't know if this battle took place in the future. I'm wondering, or if it actually took place in the present, but there is a connection between the prophet in his present time and this other character from 75 years in the future. I've got that much at least. So he pops in, boom. He actually saves the guy from the battle, whatever. And as you can see, this prophet guy is apparently he's a pretty big dude, like Jiminy Cricket. Even with him kneeling on the ground with his injuries, if he were to stand up, he'd probably come up to his waist maybe. Like, dude, this guy's huge. As far as I can tell, he might actually be either an android or cyborg. I'm not sure. I'm thinking cyborg maybe. I'm not sure. So there are some interesting aspects of this issue so far. And wait a minute, what just happened? Whoa. Hold on. So yeah, the dude's injured. Boom, boom, boom. So there's this other dude. Yeah, so Prophet saves this guy. Brings him back to this. I don't know if it's a few. Wait a minute. The crater left by the explosion was recorded by Italian monk 300 years ago. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of time travel going on here in the Prophet. Just skimming through this one issue, I am intrigued. I actually would not mind picking up some more just to see exactly what they're. I mean, it's entirely possible they end up going completely sideways with it. Maybe that could have something to do with why it wasn't bigger, but at this point, at least, I am a little intrigued with it. I do remember this. Okay, so yeah, I do remember. We'll have to look at something. I do remember that part. So he saves this dude from something. I think that battle actually took place in the past, maybe, based on this conversation and everything. So yeah, he saves this dude, and then there's this other dude that pops up, the dude with the red cloak. Not sure who he's supposed to be. There's some sort of found. Wait, no. Yeah, there is some sort of group or organization. They're fighting this battle across time, and then after he saves this guy and everything, he literally shoots him in the back. So I actually do remember this scene right here, this panel. I actually do remember that now that I'm looking at it. The rest of the stuff, looking through it, none of it really rang a bell. But looking at this, it's like, okay, yeah, I remember that betrayal. Betrayal is, especially that big of a betrayal. That's that does stick with you to some extent. And there's another bit of scripture there in the last panel. We're going to take a look at it. This one's out of Amos again. And though they go into captivity for their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. So they are trying to make a connection between biblical scripture and what's going on in the story. And yeah, I think this prophet guy is supposed to be some sort of cyborg, I think. The dude's like the truth hurts. Next issue is the new man. So I got no idea what happens to this. I don't know if picked up anymore. So around like 95. Yeah, I wasn't able to, like I said, I had a fairly chaotic and nomadic life. So around 95, yeah, it was really difficult for me to maintain my collection. Yeah, Rob Lee Fields, Stephen Platt. I don't know if they were. Yeah, Platt seems to be heavily involved with Prophet. Rob Lee Fields was involved at some point. I don't know if they're the ones that actually created the character. We got some ads here. Yeah, we got one for some. I think it's a character named Ori. Yeah. So yeah, some image character named Ori. Don't remember her. Then yeah, they're advertising some sort of like lingerie issue. Oh, the golden days of comic books. Let me tell you, glory days. Yeah, that would never fly nowadays. At least at Marvel and DC. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother House of G. And yeah, lots of ads here for yeah. So that's issue number 3 of Prophet, November 1995. And just skimming through this, it's fairly intriguing, especially 25, 26 years after the fact. I think at the time I wasn't really sure what to think about it. This might have very well been my first issue of Prophet that I picked up, and especially being issue number 3, it kind of came in the middle of a story arc or something. I don't get the sense that I wasn't sure what to think of it, and I don't know. Oh, Prophet was created by Rob Liefeld. Okay. He actually created the character. And yeah, this is for Image Comics. So, I don't know. I actually would not have a problem picking up some of the back issues and try and figure out exactly what they were going with for it. The fact that this is this is the fact that this is very biblical foundation for this character and the stories and everything. So let me read something here. Greetings, Prophet. This is okay. So back in the day, I'm sure they still do it in modern comics. I got no idea, but they would do letters from fans and whatnot. You write in and they publish the letters with the response and everything. So let's see. So at the very end, he's like, also as a Christian, I fully appreciate the influence of that in the book, and I'm looking forward to more of it. Thanks, Josh Spencer. So then the editor, whatever, responds, thanks for your thoughts, Josh, and welcome back to the comics fold. Sometimes it just takes that one book to bring you back to a place you never really wanted to leave in the first place. I'm glad Prophet was the book that did it for you. If you're enjoying the Christian influence in this book, you'll be glad to hear. There will certainly be more of it in upcoming issues. With all the many changes the Prophet has been through in his many lifetimes, Christianity is the one thing that has been a constant for him and given him some perspective, strength, and a direction in his many troubled times. So, wow. Okay, so my initial impression was actually pretty accurate there. And it's always nice to have that actual direct confirmation from the people that actually created it. So, that actually makes me want to pick up some back issues and find out exactly where they were going with this character and everything. I'm a little surprised. Honestly, I am a little surprised. Let's see. Who was it? Hey there, Remy. Good morning and welcome back to the stream. Yeah, I got a little bit of a late start. I mean, things are... Oh my gosh, I'm so busy with the main channel. Like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. So I got a little bit of a late start on this one. I'm glad you can make it. Just got done going through Prophet from Image Comics. And come to find out, hope you're having a great Monday there. Hope you had a great week, great weekend and everything. So, yeah, let's see if we can help kick off this week, kick off this Monday with a good vibe here. And, this character, Prophet, was created by Rob Liefeld. Music is competing a little with the volume of your voice. Really? Because I haven't changed it. That's weird. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Wow. Okay. No, I appreciate the heads up. I did not touch the volume on it, so that's a little weird. I don't know, the stuff, even when you don't mess with the settings, like it does its own thing. I don't have an explanation for it. It's so freaking weird. And like looking at the decibel meters and everything, it looks like it should be fine. It doesn't look like it's really, I don't know, man. I appreciate the heads up there, Remy. It's just so weird. It's so weird how that works. I haven't touched anything. Oh, emptiness syndrome. Copy that. Well, hopefully hanging out with Alsa G will kind of like help take your minds off that for a little bit, maybe, possibly, hopefully. But yeah, I know I can empathize with that. Okay, no, yeah, it sounds better then. Okay, that's good. No, yeah, this audio stuff is just, it's kind of crazy sometimes. No, the stuff that I use, the software and everything, and stuff, I don't touch it, and it does weird, stupid, random things like for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. There's so much. Well, that's the thing. My tech has been doing odd things for like decades, like since I got my first PC and whatnot. I don't know if it's just me, or if there's something with my, like, maybe I just got this like magneto level electromagnetic personality that like just messes with all my electronics. I don't know what it is. There's always been weird stuff going on with my electronics. Unless it's not just me. If it's not just me, maybe it's other people. Then maybe it's technology in general. Well, I'm glad it helps out, Remy. I'm glad it helps. And yeah, this one, Prophet, this is a little bit of a surprise. I actually completely forgot about this character, let alone that I had an issue in my collection and everything. Issue number 3. Now this is from, I don't know how much you caught of the stream yet, but this one was from November of 1995. Now, you've been with House of G for almost since the beginning now at this point. Since I started doing these live streams, so between 94 and 96 there was some stuff going on. Comic books was going this way, and then it took this weird turn, because you've been here. So this is November 95, right smack in that 2-year same prop. Okay, so I'm not the only one. That is good to know. That's actually a relief, if I'm being honest. So I thought maybe I had some like latent magneto like mutant ability or something like that. Maybe I don't. Like I said, that'd be a relief. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so this is right smack in the middle of that time frame where things just got really weird. And as it turns out, so as I was reading through this, there's actual biblical scripture like scattered throughout the story, which was a surprise. And I didn't know exactly what to think of it. I mean, skimming through it, I'm not, didn't read it cover to cover, but skimming through it, I didn't get the sense that they were trying to be disrespectful with it. And getting to the end of the issue, you get to the letters page, like the editor's page. They receive letters and whatnot, and then they respond to them. And there's one letter from this dude, Josh Spencer. He writes that as a Christian, he appreciates the Christian influence in the comic. And then the editor responds. He's like, "You're welcome. And if you like the Christian influence, keep this. This is actually, it's confirmation that this is a Christian. This is a biblically based character. And this is stuff that I've been talking about. Is that comic books in general have always been heavily influenced by the Bible, whether people want to admit it or not. And that is more important than ever with the modern state of pop culture. There are a lot of kids out there, younger generations, that they're into the movies and whatnot. They don't understand comic books. They do not understand them at all. They do not understand these characters. This is why I'm doing this, Remy. And this is why the stuff that I have to say is not going to be a popular thing to say, because the modern comic book, well, they're not even the comic book crowd, not really. They're more the movie crowd. And wait, this used to be a comic book? They had no idea. A lot of these movie fans have no idea that these are comic books, or that they started as comic books. They got no idea. So they don't understand these characters. Like, Captain America, Iron Man, stuff like that, the MCU, the DC universe. They don't understand. All this stuff has, a lot of these characters have biblical foundations, if not like over biblical foundations. The character of the character is biblical in nature. I mean, they're heroic. They're trying to, stand against evil and everything. protect the innocent. It's just, oh my gosh. That's why I refer myself as the original geek and the original gamer, because I was a geek and I was a gamer before a lot of these modern fans were even born. I go back, and I'm not the only one. There are some of these guys out there on these other channels that do go back as far as I do. Some of them maybe even a little bit further. But even those guys, they're in denial of the foundation of the world of comic books. They're in denial of it. Wow, super cool. That's one thing I noticed. I thought the stories parallel, remember Bible stories, the Order Wars. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what people, modern pop culture does not want to acknowledge the stone cold fact. Comic books are heavily influenced by the Bible, plain and simple. Heavily influenced. If it's not in your face, over like the prophet is, where they're actually putting biblical scripture into the story multiple times, then it's more subtle and everything, just the build of the character and everything. But it is a stone cold fact. And modern pop culture has gone completely in the opposite direction. They don't want anything to do with God. They don't want anything to do with the Bible. They've taken these characters and just butchered them with this worldly ideology that has no foundation in reality, which is why they're just so terrible. They're so just freaking awful. And the movies, like the first 4 phases of the MCU, they're issues. They're fun movies. I really enjoyed the MCU up until Endgame, but there were problems. There were problems. They did in a lot of ways hold true to the comic book origins of these characters, but they did their best to subvert as much as they could without being too overly blatant with it. Thanos is a good example. They butchered his origins, whether people realize it or not. But by and large, though, I mean, it was an enjoyable series of movies for like a decade. The older original color revolutions. I don't know what you mean by. I'm not sure what you mean by the color revolutions. Is that like a French spelling of revolutions? That one I'm not sure about. But yeah, this not only are comic books in general heavily influenced by biblical stories and principles, this comic book specifically is blatantly Christian themed, and that's one of the reasons why I was intrigued by it. I don't know if I have any more profit. Now, yeah, 1990, my life. Never mind that. Okay. It's all good, Remy. It's all good. Where was it going? Oh, yes. I don't know if I got any more of these. 95, like my adult life has been fairly chaotic and nomadic in a large part. So 95 was during that period. Was very, very much in that period where I wasn't able to go all, I wasn't able to put a lot of resources into my collection and everything. So that probably has something to do with why I don't have too many of these, why I don't really remember them, because it was right in that time period. But this is an intriguing character. It is an intriguing title. I would actually not mind picking up more of these. And I'm a little shocked because this character was created by Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld was part of Marvel. I remember him doing like Captain America and stuff, drawing Captain America. I had no idea that he did something like this, that this was his background and whatnot. I had no idea, and that actually changes my view of him as an artist and whatnot. So, it's intriguing to say the least, and. I don't know. So yeah, at this point, one of the things I would like to do is start doing back issues. I'm not ready to do it just yet. I need to get through my current state, this current state of my collection, get it cleaned up a bit, get the sub bagged and boarded and everything. But then I'm gonna start looking into back issues for stuff. I think this is gonna go on the list. I want to pick up some more of the Prophet series and see exactly what they do with it, because especially having that direct confirmation from the letter section, from the editor and everything. It's a clear confirmation that my first impression was accurate. So that's actually pretty cool. And yeah, so at some point I'm going to be getting into this. I want to see exactly I mean, is Image? I don't even know if I'm pretty sure Image Comics is still around. I think. I'm not actually 100% certain on that. If it is, I'm not sure. Actually, you know, that could explain it to you a few things. If you remember the Spawn Batman crossover from Image, that actually supports my thoughts that I had on that crossover. I did learn something though. The reason DC is not, or at least in part, the reason DC is not on the cover for Spawn Batman, as it turns out, that same year when they did the crossover, both companies did their own crossover. Image did theirs, and then DC did theirs, and theirs was subtitled War Devil, and I actually have it. It's in my collection. I actually have it. I'm gonna be doing that in one of the upcoming House of G streams here within the coming weeks. If not the next one, probably shortly after that. So they actually just straight up did their own stories all together, and I don't know if they're connected or not. I'm gonna have to read War Devil to find out. I think we looked into it. They merged. Possible. I got so much going on. Like I forget things pretty easy sometimes. Plus, I got severe sleep apnea, and that messes with my short-term memory. It's just a fact of life at this point for me. And so I got to take a lot of notes because I will forget stuff. It's just severe sleep apnea. It involves, like, I get severe oxygen deprivation while I'm sleeping. I had it for many years before I got diagnosed and got my machine and everything. The machine makes a huge difference, but still, it's a medical thing. So, they've merged. Did they? Hold on, let me look that up real quick. I'm curious. Web says Asian and AAP. Let me see if I can take a look at that. I'm curious now. No, I am actually, yeah. That's not right. What is Asian and AAPI? What is that? ImageComics.com. Asian and AAPI creators we recommend you read. Well, no, if you're looking at imagecomics.com, they're just recommending that stuff, but TM Image Comics. No. According to the imagecomics.com website, if you go to the very bottom, all content copyright and trademarked 2021 Image Comics or their respective owners. Image and its logos are copyright and trademark 2021 Image Comics Inc. So according to just looking at that, it looks like Image Comics is still owned by Image Comics. As far as I can tell, Image Comics is still... Wow. Image Comics. I mean, they include... Image Comics includes Todd McFarlane Productions, Top Cow. I remember Top Cow from back in the day. Shadowline Comics, haven't heard of them. Skybound Entertainment, vaguely familiar. Image Central. No, I think Image is still Image. No, yeah, the web says Asian AAPI. They're just recommending Asian and AAPI for reading. They're recommending it. Based on what I'm seeing here, there's not an actual like direct like ownership connection. They're just recommending that stuff, like in lieu of like say Marvel or DC. And I actually respect them for that because like, no, I wasn't even sure Image was still around, but yeah, it's still going. And you never hear anything about them, which is curious. Everybody talks about Marvel and DC. I can't remember the last time I heard anything about Image. That's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, very curious. You're saying all recent new titles look evil. I'd have to look at them. I don't know. The fact that they're recommending Asian and AAP. Well, AAPI, I'm not. Oh, never mind. So stop AAPI hate. Okay, that thing. Black Lives. Oh, Murgatroyd. Damn it. Oh, that's disappointing. That is really disappointing. Yeah, they've gone SJW by the looks of it. Oh, when did that happen? Oh my lord. When did that happen? Well, Image Comics, what happened to you? Like, this is surprising because back in the day Image, you get this one, and then you got the Batman Spawn. But that was actually a fun issue. the complete 180 opposite of SJW nonsense, woke nonsense. And now, well, it looks like Image is looks like Image might have very well embraced the whole SJW woke agenda. That is disappointing, guys. That is disappointing. That's very disappointing. Yeah, I hadn't even heard that myself there, but then it flashed up another little banner thing that says "Stop Asian Hate," and that's okay. Yeah, it's just nonsense. It's absolute freaking nonsense. I'm very disappointed in Image, modern Image, because they had some good stuff. They did actually have some good stuff, and yeah, it seems pretty clear that they've gone. Holy crap! Multiple award-winning Batwoman team JA. Invincible? They're the ones who are responsible for Invincible. Hold on. Wait a minute. Is Image responsible for Invincible? Okay, I think we sold. I'm not gonna do it now because I'm already getting way sidetracked. But let me make a note here, Remy, and anybody else that may be watching. Let me make a note. I'm gonna have to look up some stuff and maybe talk about modern Image. If Invincible is an Image thing, may have had to do legal facial requirements. The fact that they're bending the knee to HR, it just means that they're part of the. It doesn't matter. See, here's the thing, Remy. If these are HR requirements, that means that HR is running the company, which makes it by default an SJW woke company. So it doesn't matter if it's HR. It doesn't matter if it's coming from the board of directors. It doesn't matter. The fact that somebody approved HR and gave HR the power. Human resources is one of the biggest disasters in modern business. And I'm speaking from personal experience. My short career in the medical field is the perfect example. It was destroyed by HR bullshit. And I'm not going to get into it. In part because I legally am prevented from talking about it. I am legally blocked from talking about it. Legally, I cannot speak about it. HR was was the central power in that situation. So, Jiminy Cricket, man, this stuff is just like, I know what's up better than most people probably have any clue, including my contemporaries here on YouTube. These guys they got the big channels and whatnot. I tried to be involved with them and everything, as far as, from the community side of things, doing the super chats and whatnot. Those guys are just honestly, they're clueless. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and saying that they're clueless, that they don't actually know what's going on. Some of these guys are definitely riding the fence. Let me put it that way. They're definitely hypocritical, riding the fence. But I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt as to how screwed up the stuff really is. And the things that I've had to say about it, they don't like it. Which is why I've had to take a step back from these other channels and just focus on my own. Egos is part of it, but it's not all of it. It's not all of it. There are definitely egos involved. Yeah, you're right about that. There's definitely egos involved. Oh my lord, Remy, we just keep stumbling across stuff that it just keeps blowing my mind. Comes out of left field. I don't see it coming. It's just yeah, I know what's up because I've lived it. That's why I'm here. This stuff I've lived it personally, which is why I'm here on YouTube at this point, because it's just, I literally got no place left to go. I worked in a marina a couple of years ago, and I thought being a marina, that type of environment would be a very masculine, manly environment. But even that was screwed up all to hell. And I had a severe back injury, which, I'm not going to get into that. But so yeah, now I'm at this point, and I enjoy doing it. I love doing it, but this was never on my career path that I was even thinking about, and here I am. In large part because of all that stuff, the woke stuff. We do undercover gray stuff. Yeah. I will say this. I mean, having you in the chat and everything, just bouncing stuff off of each other, it's definitely helping. And you've helped me start to paint a picture here. And Jimmy freaking cricket, man, just so much just surprising stuff. Like it's like was it the North American Trade Agreement, NAFTA stuff? You pointed that out. There were a couple other things you pointed out that happened after that I never would have thought of. Those are really good points, and the timing on that is just like incredible when you actually sit down and think about it. So I appreciate the keep it up, doing good. I appreciate the encouragement there, Remy. You enjoy having a sharp mind and exchange info ideas. Same here, Remy. Ditto. When you're trying to have a conversation like this with people that are just they're closed, they made up their minds. They worship this stuff is what they do. They worship it. I enjoy comic books. I enjoy pop culture, but I don't blindly worship this stuff. A lot of people out there do. It's just like you can't talk to them about this stuff because they don't want to hear it. And I know you don't do comic books. Like I know you're not into comic books, so you're here as a completely fresh mind when it comes to the world of comic books, which is really cool. Can't believe you know the meaning of these scant live chats were terrible. I'm not 100% sure what you meant with that. Because I know my chat, mine's got a delay. I have a 0-second delay set, but for some reason it still puts out like a 20-second delay or something on my live chat. I don't know why it does that, but I'm not 100% sure what you. I can't know the meaning of these scant live chats. I kind of think I know what you meant by that one, but I'm not 100%. Let me finish making this note real quick because this is something I do want to kind of look up a little bit, especially if Image is involved within Invincible. Like Invincible's big and popular, even though it's like hyper violent, and it's like it's not I don't consider it to be a real superhero comic book. It's horror and gore is what it is. Oh, I interpret it correctly usually. That's good to know. Appreciate that. Okay, so I got that notes down. Okay, so Jimmy, I gotta get back on track here. It's so easy to get off on track because there's just so many surprises. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I think you know how to read into them. Most of the time, I think I understand what you're talking. I'm pretty sure I understand what you're talking about. Sometimes though, it's like I don't know if it's because of the delay where I get ahead of like you might be responding to something, I might be getting ahead of it. Most of the time, I can keep track of it though. Sometimes though, it's just like I'm just like, wait a minute, what did I say to the? What did I say like 20 seconds ago? It's all good though. You can research. Hey, if you want to research Image, go for it. Like I said, I know you mentioned you don't read comic books, but you've been very interested in the stream, which I'm grateful for. Which is really cool. It's really cool that you, as a non-comic book person, are actually entertained by this stream. Because I mean, it's not just about comic books. We're just going heavy into it right now, and I do like to. It's supposed to be about pop culture in general, but right now comic books is pretty front and center, and because a lot of the like movies and television are based on comic books. So it makes sense when you think about it. But yeah, so let's try and get back on track because I'm like way off track. We're an hour in and still on the first issue of Jiminy freaking Cricket. Yeah, so that is Prophet. This is actually a surprising one. This is a surprising one, pleasant surprise actually. But then that led to an unpleasant surprise where Modern Image is gone the way of Marvel and DC. And after seeing stuff like this, not only is that incredibly shocking, it's incredibly disappointing. Jimmy Cricket, man. You like everything behind them. Copy that. It's like, come on. No, yeah, like the average person, they probably think comic books are for kids, they're silly, whatnot. But there's back, at least, you know, as of like 15, 20 years ago, I mean, there's a lot of heavy duty like stuff going on into the characters, the stories, the worlds, the universes. You know, in this case, it's clearly biblical in nature. In most cases, it is at least behind the scenes biblical in nature and whatnot. There used to be a lot of spiritual stuff, a lot of just, morality. What was this thing doing? What is this thing doing? Why aren't you going in? Why are you? There we go. Come on. I'm trying to not damage the comp. Okay, I think we're good. That was weird. The first time, board didn't want to go into the bag. Trying to guess the scenes of what's happening at the time to produce them. Yeah, it's part of the picture. It's part of the overall picture. So there we have it. Prophet number 3, November 1995, right there, right smack in the time frame. Or at least with Marvel and DC, I don't know how much of an impact I had on our image yet because I don't have as much image in my collection. I'm gonna have to do some back issues to try and get a better picture of it. But yeah, this is right smack in the middle of that time frame where everything just started really going crazy and wonky. I'm running out of room on this box. Okay, so the backstory is your dig. No, yeah, the backstory. I love the back. So that's the thing. A lot of the modern fans, they don't want anything to do with the backstory. They want the superficial, glossy, polished, feel good stuff that they're pushing. They don't. As soon as you start digging it, it's like, wait a minute, this is not the comic book. Like, they don't want to hear it. That's why I don't expect to ever get monetized with this channel, because this is my main channel. My main channel, it's all about having fun, entertaining, stuff like that. With this one, I'm getting down and dirty. I'm getting down and dirty in the House of G, and that is not popular. So, but I'm gonna keep doing it because that's just it needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about. All right, let's keep moving here. So now we're gonna dive into the Amazing Spider-Man flashback number 1. Boom, July. I forget the year. When did this flashback stuff happen? Let's see here. 1997. Okay, so we're diving into the flashback, Amazing Spider-Man, July 1997. So this is after stuff started going wonky. And because you're an unpublished publisher. Wait, how does that work? How are you an unpublished publisher? As a publisher, don't you have the ability to publish your own publishing? I'm not sure how that works. This content is gold, pros. That's an incredible compliment, Remy. I appreciate that. Even, yeah, I do. I appreciate that. I'm trying to be authentic. I'm trying to find my own voice. I'm trying to be honest as I can possibly be, because like there's so much. Let me tell you, Geeks and Gamers. I'm just gonna put it out there. Geeks and Gamers. This Jeremy fella. Like, I stumbled across the Fandom Menace and everything early last year, with the quarantine, aka house arrest. I was like, oh, wait, hey, bunch of fans, a bunch of comic book fans and stuff like that. He had me fooled. Definitely had me fooled. Dude's a hypocrite. I'm just going to put it out there. Dude's a hypocrite. He was a heavy part. Back in the day, when I first stumbled across him, he was going hard and heavy with the Fandom Menace. He was bragging about it. He was like, I'm the biggest name in the Fandom Menace and blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure he claimed to be one of the founding members of the Fandom Menace. At least he was trying to make that claim. And then in recent months, like just recent days, he put out a tweet. He was like, I'm not part of the Fandom Menace. I'm trying to distance Geeks and Gamers. I was blown away. Like, what? Are you kidding me? When I first started watching it, you were bragging about the Fandom Menace, about how attached you were to the Fandom Menace. It made it sound like you were a founding member of the Fandom Menace. Now he's saying he's got nothing to do with it. That right there, number one, at best, it's hypocrisy. Straight up hypocrisy. And a lie. And it's like, so yeah, at least some of these other channels, they're full of shit. They're not real legitimate comic book fans. They're riding the fence because they're just trying to make a buck off of the controversy. I didn't quite see it coming. I didn't see it coming as of last year when I first got into it, but it's not surprising at the same time. Me, I'm a legitimate fan. Comic books. I was a geek before a lot of these guys were even born. I was into comic books before a lot of these guys were even born. So if you're looking for the real deal, this is the channel for you. Let's see here. It feels American from cover 1997. Yes, but just new. Well, that's the thing, is like with the flashback stuff. Yeah, that's what they were doing. They're trying to. Okay, so on the surface, I will say this. So obviously they were blatantly trying to tap into the nostalgia. That's why it's, you know, flashback and everything. This isn't the first flashback that we've gone through in my collection. So every single one of them, they try to tap into the nostalgia. Now, here's the thing. This is 1997. So the question is, were they faithful to the source material, or were they tapping into the nostalgia to draw in real fans and try to subvert their expectations and convert them into something else, which is something that they have in fact done. Let's go ahead and look at this and see if we can find out. Now, the first page, boom. Now, that's one thing about the flashback stuff. They got Stan the Man Lee. I'm pretty sure in every single one of these having a cameo at the very beginning, which is pretty cool. It was just fun to see. It was fun. It was just fun to see that. Stan the Man Lee, he created a lot of these characters, so it's perfectly acceptable. He created these characters. And it's just at the very beginning to introduce the story. Not a big deal. Yes. Sorry. And so yeah, he's talking about Peter Parker, home of Ben and Aunt May. Oh, so yeah. They're going through some stuff in the attic, and they stumble across some old comic book issues. Peter Parker's like, "Oh, these are so cool." This, in terms of modern America, this is a story as old as time. It's like having my dad. I don't know. My dad had comic books, and he still. I don't know. I think my dad was actually into comic books as a kid. I think my grandfather actually might have thrown them out at some point. So that was the opposite end of that particular Americana story. Some of them they kept them. Some of them they got tossed out, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed, in my humble opinion. So yeah, Peter Parker stumbles across these old, comic books. I'm assuming they're from Uncle Ben here, and I think they're trying to say that it helps lay the foundation for Spider-Man, possibly. We'll see here, and what? And as in any kid reading this stuff, Peter Parker, he's going through, and he imagines himself as Captain America. It's that's what every kid pretty much does when they're reading this stuff. It's like, they put themselves in the shoes of the heroes and everything, which is part of comic books. It's to inspire people to become something better than what they are in a sense. So it's like that's one of those. I don't have a problem about comic books per se. I've always been a fan. And now there is some stuff going on. James Jonah Jameson, Robertson, the black dude. I remember him. I just don't remember much about his character and stuff like that. He goes back a ways. So this is the Daily Bugle, where Peter Parker ends up becoming a photographer, freelance photographer for the Daily Bugle. I think that's, we got Kingpin in here. Kingpin, boom, boom. Wait a minute, what? Oh. Yeah, we got Kingpin, snaps the guy's neck. I mean, the Kingpin is a bad guy. He's a bad guy, make no mistake. Which is why when in the modern stuff, they try to turn him into like the sympathetic character. It's like, I'm not buying it. Does not fly with me. He's a bad guy. Bad guy, plain and simple. I got no sympathy for him. He just snaps this guy's neck like it's nothing. And he's evil. He's a villain. He's a very well done villain, but he's a villain. And modern comic books, television shows, they try to turn him into the sympathetic character, and it's freaking bullshit. So yeah, Uncle Ben and Peter Parker, they're all playing baseball. Uncle Ben is throwing the ball. Peter swings and misses, falls on his butt because he's not athletic at all. So then, Peter Parker's embarrassed, goes inside. So he dives into the comic books and he pretends he's like the super athletic hero, like say, Captain America. It's just, he puts himself into the story in his imagination and everything. which is, it's so far it's entertaining. If I remember correctly, the previous flashback issues were actually pretty good, if I remember correctly. So yeah, just doing the thing. These were fun ones. If I remember correctly, they were fun. So far, this one's a fun one too. And okay, so at the end it says, wait a minute, hold on. Wait, what? Okay, so, they're all just walking along, and then this kid on a Uncle Ben, Aunt May, Peter Parker, and this kid on a skateboard comes flying by, knocks over Aunt May, and Peter Parker's thinking, if there's only some way I could stop him, if there's only some way I could snag him. Keep in mind, this is way before he becomes Spider-Man. And, Jake. I don't know what's going on with that, so I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to dive into it because I just don't know. So then Peter Parker gives away the comic books to some neighborhood kids. But then, as a result, when he sits down, he's got this idea to snag the kid because he ran over his Aunt May on a skateboard. So he starts developing this web slinger device. It is a way to, shoot out this, basically, for lack of a better word, string of web, catch the guy, snag him, and keep him from getting away. So this is before he gets bit by the spider. So this is setting the stage for Spider-Man. Now this doesn't retcon the character. It doesn't subvert the character. It doesn't change his origins. It just it plants the idea, the seed that he's already coming up with some sort of device that he's actually going to be able to use as Spider-Man in the future. So it's not about it's. I don't like retconning. But this isn't retconning. So this is just kind of expanding. This is actually expanding on the already established origins and history of the character. It's making me chuckle. I try to find the humor, especially since I'm more willing to deep dive than most other channels or people in general. I got to find the humor. I have to find the humor. I have to. Otherwise, you just end up in this downward spiral that you can't get out of. And okay, but then it jumps to, I don't know, something about the secrets of Peter Parker. And so the end of the main story is over, but then it jumps. It's almost like an epilogue thing, almost, from what I can tell. He's in college at this point, and he's still a bumbling klutz. He has no athletic ability, and stuff like that. But he's like brainy, intelligent. He's a genius. Is what he is. And it puts it in a positive light. It tells the story of Peter Parker, who Peter Parker is before he becomes Spider-Man. And it's like, it's well done. Like, if I remember correctly, I enjoyed the other flashback issues that we went over. So this is not a bad. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think they did a good job with it. And this was July, where is it? Of 1997, which just makes it more surprising because this is 1997. This is after everything started going really wonky. And the drawing is a key addition story. Exactly. It's humor is important. I agree 100%. But here's the thing: a lot of these channels, they go 100% all in on the humor, and they ignore the serious stuff. That's part of the problem. There's just 100% just smart ass cracking jokes, and that's all there is. And then they gripe and they complain, but they don't look at the real problem. They just, which tells me, they don't deep dive. They skim the surface for entertainment value. I'm serious about this stuff. I'm trying to be entertaining about it, and stuff like that. I'm trying to find the humor in it when I can. but I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I'm not trying to skim the surface. I'm trying to deep dive this stuff, get to the real heart of the matter. Why? Because I'm the original geek and gamer. I grew up as a comic book geek before a lot of these guys were even born. I grew up with an actual love and passion for the comic books, which is the source material for the movies and the television shows. At the end of the day, I don't care about the movies and the television shows because this is where it's at. This is where it's at. This is what matters. Movies and television shows are bastard. They're rip-offs of the comic books for the sake of money. And, rant. That's my rebel rant for the day. Boom shakalaka. There you have it. Flashback, Amazing Spider-Man #1, July 1997. It's actually a fun story. It's nothing too deep. It's fun. It doesn't butcher the origin of the character. It doesn't retcon him. It's just fun. It's just a fun in 1997, which makes it all the more surprising because after that period, 95, 96, something went wonky in the world of comic books. So it's a pleasant surprise for that time period. It's a good one. It is. I would recommend it. There's no. It's not really even a Spider-Man. It's not really a Spider-Man issue. It's a Peter Parker issue, and for the most part, it seems like it's pretty well done. Just skimming through it. So, all right, let's back and board this puppy. And get this bad boy ready for storage. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Boom. Smooths in. His butter. Ready to go. Just got to flap that. And let's see here. Drum roll, please. Oh, yeah. The stuff of which dreams are made of. It's right there on the title. Yeah, right there on the title. Which tells you, it gives you a hint of what's going to go on inside the pages. So yeah, that's no, it's not a bad one. It's really not. So yeah, those first two were surprising, a bit surprising, in a good way. Now, 1 second. Cheers. Let's see. Now. This may be a surprising one, and if it is, I'm guessing it's not going to be surprising for the better. What the fuck? Where is the chin trigger? So usually they've got all of the pertinent the information for the creation of the comic book at the very front page, but for some reason they wait until page 6 to add it. Very strange. So, okay. Marvel Comics, an X-Men book. The Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix. Dun dun dun. So, yeah, this is issue #1. Now here's the thing. So it's like May of 1994. This is right before everything went wonky. So I have no idea what to expect out of this. But I will say this. The cover's a little weird. Look at their costumes. Now we do have the green screen thing going on, so it might be a little difficult to see it all. And for some reason, it's more yellow than green, but apparently it's just green enough to activate the green screen. But if you look at their costumes, both of them are just wearing like just straight, tight bodysuits. There's no like extra pieces to it. There's no, zero modesty. Zero modesty. You can tell looking at that, they might as well be naked. Just straight up might as well be naked. That's just weird. It's just weird to me. Itchy nose. Itchy. It's just weird. And it's not normal to run around naked. And yes, I understand these characters are supposed to be like the peak physical condition. But it doesn't mean you don't have modesty. When you have a tight full body suit like that, it's literally a second skin. You might as well be naked. That's zero modesty whatsoever. And that's just not. No, this is 1994. So this is before everything like blatantly went sideways. But it's still there. There's still hints of it. What the funky coma, dude? This is weird. This is already starting off weird. The Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix. I don't know where they were going with this. So it starts off with Phoenix. Let's see. It's starting off weird. I mean, you already got the weird cover, full type bodysuits, and then so she's talking about how she closed her eyes in paradise and will open her eyes in hell. Let's see if I can get a. It's kind of difficult to see. She's like strapped into these giant robot boots, and if you look at the straps being used, the strategic placement and everything, it's just kind of weird. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Let's see, yeah, it's just the placement is kind of in your face, and then what the hell are they going with here? Like, yeah, then it shows her leaping out of the giant robot boots. So okay, so something, yeah, just crazy. It's already starting off crazy. Oh, you know what? I think they got... Okay, so it was the first day of their honeymoon. This is immediately after they got married. And I think they get sucked into the future is what's going on here. And apparently in the future, everybody wears full-type bodysuits that might as well be running around naked. Which, if you look at modern society, it's not too far off from the truth. And... Yeah, you know what? I think they got like sucked into the future. That's what was going on with this. Wait a minute, did I go over another? I did go over. Wait a minute, no, it was an alternate universe. It was an X-Men title, but it was an alternate universe. I don't think this is it. As far as I can remember, this was not connected to that. This was, I think this was something different. Maybe, no, wait, maybe this was connected to it. Hold on. And I remember, if I remember correctly, it was just weird. That other one that we went over before, it was just weird. And looking at the cover, I don't remember being too impressed with it. Like the emotional reaction from when I first got it, back in '94. I don't remember being too impressed by it. Let's see. Yeah, something to do with Apocalypse. What is going on? This might be connected. Okay, so there was one issue I went over in House of G. It dealt with a alternate universe, X-Men type stuff. It's just a really messed up mirror universe. It wasn't terribly creative, from what I remember. This might be connected to it. I don't remember. I'm trying to think. Scott and Jean Grey. Like, maybe Cable is. Oh my gosh, I would have to. It's in this box. I would have to find it and then go through it. Itchy. And it's kind of hard to tell because there's just like a lot of stuff going on. Who is this guy? I got no idea. Yeah, so Apocalypse is involved, and Apocalypse may have been involved in the last one. Some dude, he's like Scott, our rescuer. So he almost looks like a priest or something like that. And then, I don't know, he gets wrapped up in some psionic cocoon or something like that. I don't know. And there's just a lot of stuff going on. It's not very clear. They get dumped right in the middle of it. They don't even know what's going on. And let me get this character. I got no idea who he's supposed to be. Yeah, there's just so much so much going on here. Wait a minute, what? So this dude is Okay, so this is 2,000 years into the future of the modern Scott Summers and Jean Grey. And this dude, even though this is 2,000 years in the future, oh, that's not even a dude, that's a chick. Wait a minute. Okay, so this isn't even... Are you kidding me? So this isn't a dude, this is a chick. That is a woman right there, even though it looks like a dude. And she's claiming to be the daughter of Cyclops and Phoenix. And this is continuing from cable number 8 of that year. I don't have that issue, so I got no idea. Yeah, so this is 2,000 years in the future. So definitely on the crazy side. They're dropped right into the middle of something. Yeah, Apocalypse is behind everything that's going on. So this child of Cyclops and Jean Grey started some sort of clan called Clan Ascani. Apparently she's 2,000 years old, I guess. It's very confusing, to say the least. It's a little on the outside. Even for X-Men, it's on the outside. It's confusing. I don't know if I picked up any additional issues for it. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, so yeah, they were on their honeymoon, first day of their honeymoon at some tropical beach. So they get sucked into the future. Their minds get sucked into the future. Their bodies are left behind, and they're in the shallow water, but it doesn't take much to drown. So they're trying not to think about the state of their bodies while they're in the future. So it's kind of a big old question mark that they would leave you with, and kind of a disturbing one. What is going on with this? This is honest. I mean, yeah, we're 2,000 years in the future, and it's just going crazy. What the what? So there's this dude. I don't know who this dude is supposed to be. I think he's supposed to be some minion of Apocalypse or something. He's like, bring forth the child. So the child's born from something called a synth con. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Then like shows up close. That's the kid. That's the baby. Definitely not a cute addition to the story. Very disturbing. I don't know what's going on. This is even for the X-Men, this is out there. Like I've talked about in the past, they could actually take the X-Men series and do some like horror type titles, but it would have to be a completely separate thing from the main one. The main one, I've never considered the main one to be like a horror title. Nothing, not even close to that. Which is why the New Mutants movie, the concept was intriguing. The execution wasn't very good, but the concept was intriguing. But they would have to do like it's a standalone title, so at least there's that much. It's just kind of weird though. Something about Apocalypse over the last, for the 2,000 years, Apocalypse has been slowly like gaining control of the planet, building its power and all that, which is why they got pulled in, 2,000 years into the future. That's what the story's going with. When was this? Was this 97? So even when they get married and they go on a honeymoon, their lives, they still can't get a moment of peace. That's what I'm coming away with. What? Just give them their honeymoon, man. Come on. Just give them a chance to, like, just be normal for a minute. Now, this is 1994. 1994. It's a weird one, though. Especially just reading the first issue alone. It's just weird. Oh, and that's his son, Cable. What? What? Wait, what? They have really messed this up. They have really, from what... I would have to sit down and read this because I don't know if I missed something. What? And the reason I'm confused is because this is 2,000 years in the future. Either there's a lot about... So this baby is the son of Scott Summers and Jean Grey. And he becomes Cable, which I'm familiar with Cable. Fairly familiar with his background, his origins, stuff like that. But this is like... What? Oh, he's torn from the grip of a wounded Synthcom. Okay. So there's that. But how... Like, I knew Cable was supposed to be from the future, but I didn't know he was supposed to be, like, from 2,000 years into the future? That much I didn't know? Has that always been a thing? Okay, so Scott Summers was forced to send his son into the future to save his life. And apparently, there are some disastrous results from it. That's what I'm getting out of it. But I had no idea the Cable was supposed to be from like 2,000 years into the future. That much is new to me. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think of this one. So it seems like they're actually diving into the story of Cable, Scott Summers, and Jean Grey. The origins of Cable. So yeah, I'm not sure what to think of it. It's very different. It's very, very different from X-Men. I mean, there's especially, well, I mean, once you figure out that that's Nathan Summers, aka Cable, and everything, then it starts to fall into place and stuff a bit more. I don't know. I just in 1994, so yeah, I wasn't able to really maintain my collection regularly. So I don't know if I have any more of these, like issue 2, stuff like that. I got no idea if I have any more, and if I don't know if it's because I just wasn't that interested in it, or because of just the nature of my life at that point. Don't know. So like it's very out there. Very out there. Odd. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I think of this. I mean, yeah, 2,000 years in the future, there's a lot of just weird, like, just crazy stuff going on. And I'm honestly not sure what to think of it. Since we're dealing with what looks like the origin of Nathan Summers possibly turning into Cable, or at least it's diving into his childhood at least. That much of it is interesting to me. I just don't know. I don't know. Like these costumes, the outfits they're wearing are just weird. They're just weird. Full tight bodysuits. I'm not a fan of that. It's just, I'm just not a fan of that. That's one of the things that kind of turned me off to it, was these full tight bodysuits. First of all, I mean, there's zero imagination. Zero. X-Men are known for their costumes. unique, identifiable costumes, and they slap them into these boring ass, like, just not creative bodysuits that they might as well be running around naked. That's just, I mean, it's just boring. I don't know what they're trying to go for. I can take a guess, but it's just boring. And here's my guess. My guess is that they're going for stuff like that, so they can draw pictures of that. And like I said, I mean, it's boring. If I want that, there's plenty of free options on the internet for that. Let me put it to you that way. I mean, this is boring. Come on. Jiminy Cricket. But then, like, I mean, so it does dive into them going to the future, or something to do with their son and everything. That much of it is kind of interesting, but just the weirdness of it and these boring ass suits that they're wearing, it kind of negates whatever interest I actually have in it. I'm thinking that's what happened back in the day. It was just so like, I don't know. It was just a little too weird, maybe. But I gotta see if I've got any more of these in my collection. I don't think I do. I think this might be the only issue of this miniseries that I got. Because I'm pretty sure it was meant to be a limited series. I don't think it was meant to be an ongoing series, because they would have to come back to the present at some point to, be part of the X-Men again. It just says an adventure. See, I'm pretty sure it was always meant to be a miniseries. I don't know. It's one of those ones I might be interested in getting the back issues, at least the second issue, just to see where they're going with it and then take it from there. But it's just not hooking me. It's not hooking me. When you find out that is Nathan Summers, I start to get a little bit interested, but I don't know if it's enough. Obviously it wasn't enough back in the day, because like I said, I'm pretty sure that's the only issue that I have for that miniseries. And yeah, that's kind of a hit or miss. It's not really a full-on hit for me. Not a complete miss, but it's pretty close. I don't know. I might try to pick up the second issue at some point just to see where they're going with it. See if it improves. Sometimes it does get better after the first issue. First issues are not always smash hits. Let's put it that way. 1994, so that is before everything took a weird turn, but there was still some weird stuff going on. Okay, so slide in like butter, boom chakalaka, and she's bagged and boarded, ready for storage. Just gotta get the flap over, make sure it doesn't fall out, hopefully. And let's see here. All right, so there we go. Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix, involving their son Nathan Scott, with some really weird 2,000 year into the future stuff going on. Yeah, it's an oddball. I would definitely leave it up to you if you ever wanted to check that one out. That's your decision. 100% your decision. Okay, now we get to the heart of this stream here today, and I would like to introduce to you one Nightwatch. Dun, dun, dun. Now in his own ongoing series, guest starring the Amazing Spider-Man. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun. What is the dark secret of Nightwatch? I guess we're about to find out. This is issue number 1, so I did come in with number 1. Honestly, I don't think I have any of the other issues. This is from April, let's see here, 1994. So this is before the whole, let's go lose our minds phase of Marvel and DC. So this is before all that went down. Now, so this, just looking at the costume. It's an interesting costume. I like the costume. I like the concept. Now, looking at it, it has a very Batman / Spawn look to it. Like they kind of mash the two together a little bit. And personally, I like it. I like the costume. I think it's a pretty cool costume. Nightwatch, it fits the look of the costume and everything. So, just looking at the cover, we're off to a good start. Let's go ahead and take a look at the story here. And as he might have guessed, or maybe not. There he is, gliding through the city. Very Batman looking. Yeah, it's got a very Batman look. Now keep in mind, Batman is DC. So maybe this is possibly them. This might be Marvel trying to tap into like a Batman vibe. That'd be my guess with this character. I like it, personally. This is in New York City. And in the Marvel Universe, Spider-Man does hang, he lives in New York City. Let's see. So there's Rikers Island. Rikers Island goes back a long ways. It's a major prison, maximum security prison for the worst of the worst. Violent types, everything. And let's see here. Yeah, so we got some armed dudes, mercenaries and whatnot, holding the prison personnel hostage. I think that's supposed to be the warden. Boom, boom, boom. Life on the edge. Dun, 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 dun. On the edge, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. I found on the edge of danger. Oh, wait a minute, hold on here. Wait a minute. Wait. Wait a minute. We have one Peter Parker is one of the hostages. Yeah, that guy right there? That's Peter Parker. It's him. It's Peter Parker. It's the Spider-Man. But shh, don't tell anybody. The bad guys don't know Spider-Man's there. Don't tell anybody. And then it really tips you off that he's Peter Parker in this panel right there. It's like, wait a minute. Oh, snap. Forehead slap. It's Peter Parker. He's a hostage. You're so focused on Nightwatch that one's panel comes up and you're not taking a closer look at him because you can see actually Nightwatch is flying in up above, so you're not really focused on the crowd until the next page, and then they make sure that you know that Peter Parker is in fact in the crowd of hostages. But then his spider sense kicks in because Nightwatch is coming in on the scene from above. And this is where the whole Spawn aspect comes in. So first, yeah, you're getting the heavy Batman vibe, but then he comes in, Nightwatch drops down, starts doing his thing, and his cape is doing some crazy stuff there. Very a la Spawn. So it's kind of, yeah, like I said, it's almost like they took Batman and Spawn and kind of mashed them together a little bit, at least as far as the costume goes. I think it's a cool concept, personally. That's why I picked it up. It just looked cool. It had the very, Batman Spawn vibe to it. It caught my attention. It convinced me to pick it up and give it a shot. Let's keep going here. So yeah, Nightwatch, he's doing his thing. He's fighting this guy. This guy's got some crazy technology apparently. Yeah, he's fighting. He's got just blasting him and stuff like that. Yeah, he got the laser looking. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but yeah, he's got some pretty serious weaponry there. And Nightwatch is trying to protect the innocent people behind him. He takes the full brunt. Boom, chakalaka. And then Spider-Man jumps in. He comes into the shot there. Boom, there's Spider-Man. He takes advantage of the ensuing chaos, suits up, joins the fight. Boom, chakalaka. And Spider-Man, he's all like, hey, who are you and where did you come from? At least according, that's the... Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, because Nightwatch doesn't recognize Spider-Man. He doesn't know who Spider-Man is. Spider-Man's like, they're about, Wait a minute. He's like, I'm not that hard to recognize, pal. Nightwatch is all like, I'm new to the city, Spider-Man. New to the planet, maybe. That's very Spider-Man right there. So Nightwatch has no idea who Spider-Man is. Spider-Man has no idea who Nightwatch is. The only thing that Spider-Man knows is that Nightwatch put himself in harm's way to protect the crowd. And so he's like, okay, so this guy, he's the good guy. I need to, jump in and help this guy out. It's like... Now, it's my understanding that this suit of his costume, is supposed to be nearly indestructible, but he's looking pretty tore up right now. And so the firepower that these guys have is pretty pretty powerful there. Let's see here. So yeah, he's chasing the bad guy. Boom, boom, boom. Fly through the city. What the? Okay. Wait a minute. Now, this is where we start getting into the dark secrets of Nightwatch. So yeah, suit's getting tore up. So you're already getting kind of an idea of who the guy is underneath the mask and everything. So you're getting an idea, but hold on. Wait a minute, what? Hold on. One second. So, yeah, this guy, the bad guy, his name is Salvo. He sets the helicopter towards the city, heart of the city. So, Nightwatch starts having these flashbacks. Now, as it turns out, 10 years ago, wait a minute, hold on a second. $10 years ago. So I think he's a professor. I think that's what's going on. So he's actually a doctor. The man behind the mask, he's a doctor. And, surprise, surprise, he's black. Let's see. Yeah, so the dark secret of Nightwatch is that he's a black man. He's a black hero. And there's all this uproar nowadays about black, they're turning, race swapping and gender swapping. They're taking white characters, turning them into black characters. Nick Fury is a great example. They're taking all these characters, these white characters, and they're making them black. Let's just cut to the chase here. Look at this. We got one Nightwatch. It's a pretty cool costume, if you ask me. I like that costume. I do. I like the costume. And the man behind the mask is black. Make sure I'm getting the right. Yeah, he's a black man. Look at that. An interesting character, interesting superhero, and he happens to be black. They didn't have to race swap. They didn't have to change his skin color. He was created as a hero, and he was created as a black character. Normally, I wouldn't give a shit. Normally, I wouldn't say two words about it. But this is the state of modern pop culture, folks. This is where we're at. It's kind of the point where I have to talk about it, and it's just stupid. I digress. Let's continue. Look at that. He's a doctor, PhD. I don't know if he's a medical doctor. It doesn't say if he's it talks about his favored science student, but it doesn't say. Yeah, so that's one caveat. It does not say what kind of doctor he is. Being a doctor doesn't mean he's a medical doctor. You can have a PhD in nearly anything nowadays. But he is a doctor. He does have a PhD. Hold on here. Now, naturally, he's getting involved with his white female student at some point. I don't know if they get involved before or after she graduates, but they do end up getting involved. Surprise, surprise. Never a good idea, regardless of the circumstances, but let's not get into that. So she ends up getting a job with a Morel Pharmaceuticals. She gets on a plane to take off and everything to leave, and then she's getting on the plane and everything. Now, while he's waiting on the tarmac, this portal opens up, and out pops this dude in this costume. And there's something going on with them. Let's see if we can figure this out here. Another hole. Boom, boom, boom. The glass is already broken. Have no fear, Kevin Trench. You shall not die here yet. Nightwatch lenses can easily read the heat signatures of your sound. So apparently, So his real name is Kevin Trench. So 10 years prior, his girlfriend is getting on a plane flying off for Morel Pharmaceuticals. For whatever unknown reason, somebody tries to take him out. This dude in the costume, this Nightwatch, pops in from some sort of teleportation portal, and protects him from this attack. Wait a minute, hold on. No. Hold on. No. He's not. They're not attacking him. They're actually attacking Nightwatch as he's coming through the portal. That's what's going on here. So Nightwatch is coming through the portal under fire, but he's protecting Kevin Trench. And let's see. Closes the teleportal. And all that's really, and this is Nightwatch speaking, and all that's really left to say is trust yourself. So this Nightwatch character, he's like, trust yourself, and then he passes out. He drops dead. He literally drops dead at this point. Doesn't really explain why, but he drops dead. So the guy, he goes up, he pulls the guy's mask off. He's like, wait a minute, that's me. So he is the man in the suit. Apparently he's from, like, say, the future, maybe, possibly. Interesting concept. So, he saves him. Well, he doesn't save himself. Okay, so he's not saving himself. He's teleporting into 10 years. He's porting into the past, apparently. Telling himself to trust himself, and then drops dead. It's pretty much a mind. It's really screwing with your mind at this point. So that's when he realizes there's something going on. This suit is not a normal suit. His future self is holding a newspaper article or something from the year 1993. Wait a minute. Yeah, 1993, because this is 10 years in the past at this point. So he grabs the suit. Hold on. This is a little confusing because it tries to pack in so much stuff within a single page. So there's a newspaper article, and then I guess he puts the suit on all of a sudden, and it takes him up to the plane as it's taken off with his girlfriend on it. As far as I can tell, I mean, it's like boom, 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 boom. There's like they don't take the time to tell us right. There's a lot of stuff going on. Boom, boom, boom. He gets up to the plane. There's dudes on the plane with guns. And they shoot the... What? Okay, so these are like terrorists or something trying to they're holding the plane hostage? I don't know. It doesn't do a good job of explaining it. They rushed it. AIM hijackers. So they're AIM hijackers, but they still rush this thing. And his girlfriend is on the plane, so he's trying to save her. But they fight back and they blow up the plane by shooting into the gas tank or something. I don't know. But then he finds a clue, discovers she's still alive. And this all happens within a single page. So it's just they crammed it in there. They easily could have dragged that out a bit. Easily. Okay, so then that's him having a flashback to becoming Nightwatch by getting the suit from his future self that dies at his feet. Yeah, it's pretty much a mindfuck. It's like, oh. So then it cuts to the future. And he's in the plane or the helicopter. He takes it off pilot, he crashes it into the river to save lives and everything. Puts himself at risk, but then he doesn't actually crash with it, like Salvo believes that he does. He's gliding through the air, sneaks up on him, boom. Salvo realizes something's coming up behind him, turns around, boom, boom. They're fighting. Like I said, the suit is supposed to be nearly indestructible, but Salvo is doing some damage to the suit. So that's it. So either this suit is not as indestructible as they advertise it, or this dude has just got some serious firepower. Oh, you still listening to that? Okay, it's getting there. Sometimes I wonder if maybe you got busy, or if you know, the story is like just that interesting. It's kind of hard to tell. I appreciate it. Appreciate the heads up. So yeah, they're duking it out and whatnot. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so this dude, okay, so like I said, it's kind of a combination between Batman and Spawn almost. Like he's definitely, there are certain pages, certain panels, he's definitely got like a Batman look to him. And then there are certain other ones like this one where it's very much a Spawn-esque type deal. And so he uses his cape, actually it traps the guy. His armor and weaponry is damaged. And he finally takes the guy down. He's like, if you try to shoot me, you know, it'll blow up and you'll kill yourselves. The guy basically passes out and surrenders, or basically surrenders. But he's talking about, I'm proud of my bio armory, Nightwatch. He used to be a Hydra agent named Barrett Gage until he woke up on an AIM operating table when Dr. Morell, and then that's when Nightwatch is like, Morell? Because his girlfriend went to work for Morell Pharmaceuticals. So the plot thickens. And it's like, wait a minute. So, like I said, they're just, this is a 12-issue miniseries type of deal. And so they're just they're cramming as much as they can into this. They could have dragged this out. They really could have, if it was a full-on series, but it was a 12-issue miniseries. So apparently they didn't have much of a choice. They just had to like cram it. So he's already got a clue that is hinting at the possibility that his girlfriend is still alive. And then he finds out Morell, this Salvo guy, got his technology, his armory from Morell, which is supposed to be a pharmaceutical company. Very odd, very, very, very odd. And then so he's like basically disarming this guy. In the process, his suit is actually somehow, like, I don't know, absorbing the Salvo technology. This guy's armory, it's absorbing some of the technology into the suit, adapting it for the suit. So apparently his costume has the ability to basically go Borg on other technology. He can like absorb it and adapt it for its own purposes, which is an interesting aspect of the suit, of the costume. And in the process, it repairs the costume. So now it's all, instead of being tattered and torn, it's back in one piece. Kind of looks, it might actually look a little bit different. Let's see. Take a quick look. Yeah, I think the suit actually does look different. Yeah, because yeah. Like so all of the silver looking stuff was not there before. So now, the suit was repaired, and now it's got all this silver looking stuff from the Salvo technology. So it's got some very interesting capabilities, to say the least. And then it cuts to the next page, and we get a full up look at this guy. You can tell it's a black guy, black superhero. It's a black guy, right there. Boom, black guy. And what are they complaining about? Modern comic books representation. Representation, diversity. You need to have diversity. Well, here's your diversity. Here's your representation. You guys have a black superhero named Nightwatch. 1994. Ooh, look at that. And guess what? I was actually interested in this character. I'm not saying it's a perfect character. The teleportation futuristic time loop thing is different, to say the least. But I was actually interested in this character. I don't think I have any more of the issues because, like I said, I've had a fairly chaotic, nomadic life at times. So my collecting experience was interrupted routinely. So I don't think I have any more Nightwatch issues. But I was actually interested in this character. And guess what? He's black. I was actually interested in. He's got that Batman Spawn vibe to him. So they clearly drew inspiration from both Batman and Spawn, but it's a different character. The suit is technology based. It's not like Spawn's costume is a Hellspawn type costume. Batman is technology. But Batman's costume is not like this. This is like basically like a hybrid between the two concepts. Personally, I think it works. I thought it was a cool character. I thought it was a cool costume. It was interesting, and I actually wouldn't mind picking up some back issues because it was a 12-issue limited series. I would not mind picking up some back issues on this and seeing exactly what they did with the character. And then they give you a bonus pinup page. This is the original cover to Nightwatch #1 before we decided to change Nightwatch's costume. So this is the original. This is the original that they were going to go with. And this is actually what he looks like at the start of the issue, or at least pretty close to it. But then after he absorbs that, so it's pretty much the same pose, slightly different background and everything. And you can see the changes they made in the costume with the silver stuff and the more metallic parts of it. That's pretty much what he looks like. So that's pretty much a before and after when you compare them. So now this character, he was showing up in the Spider-Man titles as a what do you call it? Not one of the main characters, just one kind of like a side character that popped in from time to time. They felt that the character was popular enough to give him his own miniseries. So that was the deal there. But then after that, I don't remember. See, I don't have as many Spider-Man. I wasn't as into the Spider-Man titles as I was with, say, like Batman or Wolverine or stuff like that. So I don't remember him. I don't actually remember him in the Spider-Man comics, but that's where he came from. So they gave him his own little mini thing. Black character, black hero. He is in fact a hero. I mean, at the start of the comic book, he puts himself in harm's way to save the crowd. So by his actions, he is a hero. But you don't hear that from modern pop culture, from modern mainstream media and entertainment. You never hear about this character. You never do. They act like he never existed. But we're not done there, folks. So hold on. Let me go and bag and board this. But guess what? We're not done yet. Not with Nightwatch. So, yeah. I actually enjoyed that issue. I'm not saying it didn't have problems, whatever, but it was enjoyable. It was, I could look past whatever flaws there were. They weren't like overly glaring or nothing like that. The whole professor-student relationship thing, that was not a good idea in my opinion. In real life, let alone in a comic book, but that's what they went with. So I'm just, whatever. It's whatever at this point. So by and large, though, I like the character. It's an interesting character. It's it does draw parallels from Batman and Spawn. So it's not like 100% like original, but it's original enough, and the concept is interesting enough to get my attention and to make me interested in the character. There you have it. Nightwatch #1. That was it. What was it? 1994, and yeah, that's a black superhero. That's the dark secret of Nightwatch. He's a black superhero. But that's not the only dark secret of Nightwatch. It actually gets even darker. So obviously the first dark secret is a play on words. Bada bang bazanga. See, I can make jokes. 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 We're not done. We're not done with Nightwatch just yet, here, folks. Let me get this set up. So, yeah, we're gonna take a look at something here regarding the character. Boom shakalaka. Now, keep in mind today's date, May 24th of 2021. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to the recon screen here. Shakalaka. Let me reduce this. That's probably too loud. Let me know. Hey, let me know if the music is still too loud. I think I had to drop it down a bit. Jimmy Cricket. Even though I haven't messed with any of the settings, the sound it obviously did something. It's got a mind of its own. Let's put it that way. So, okay. We have CBR.com. Now, I'm familiar enough with the website where I recognize it. I don't know I'm usually, if I read anything, it's usually Bounding Into Comics. So CBR, I'm not as familiar with as far as like, I don't know what kind of slant they have, and they all got slants. So I'm not really sure what their slant is, which, whatever. But on May 14th of 2021, 10 days ago, I cannot make this up, folks. I did not plan this. I just found this article today, doing a little pre-stream research. I stumbled across this article, and it did jump up. Yeah, I went ahead and turned it back down. Let me know. I did turn it back down, so let me know if it's still too loud. You should be able to hear the difference by now. And yeah, it's just so weird. I don't know why. I haven't messed with the settings, so I don't know why it's doing that. You never said anything before about the sound being too loud, so I got no idea. Technology, man, it's just weird. It's just weird. So here we go. This article is from 10 days ago, and I just found it today before setting up for the stream. And I just stumbled across. I literally just stumbled across this about a week and a half ago. Right about the same. It's still loud. It's still loud. Copy that. Copy that. I just stumbled across my issue. Oh, it's gone now? Like you're saying it's just completely gone now, but like on the decibel meter that I got, I mean it's still going. Like, so I don't know. Stuff is it just doesn't make sense sometimes. Like it just has a mind of its own sometimes. Okay, so I dropped it down to negative 30 decibels. Let me. Oh, Jimmy Cricket. Okay, I'm setting it there and I'm leaving it. If you can't hear the music, then it's just that's just what's gonna have to be for now, because I don't know what's going on with it. Just let me know there, Remy. Let me know if you can hear me, and if it's this audio stuff, man. It's just it's got a mind of its own. It really does. So, okay. Yeah, let me know, Remy, and I'm going to get back into it here. So, yeah, about a week and a half ago, I stumbled across my own Nightwatch #1 sitting in my collection. And this was written right about the same time, but I had no idea until today when I stumbled across this. So, yes, May 14th of 2021, Nightwatch, how Spider-Man's forgotten ally got away with rewriting reality. Like, wait a minute. Whoa. What's going on here? Wait a minute. What are they talking about rewriting reality? We just went through Nightwatch #1. He's a hero, right? So he went into the past to warn his past self and, in essence, pass along the costume. So he picks up the costume. He puts in the first issue, by his actions, he's proving himself to be a hero. So, how exactly is Nightwatch rewriting reality here? By traveling into the past, or are we talking about something else? He's already traveling into the past. He's already changing the future by traveling into the past and giving himself this costume, improving himself to be heroic in nature. So, wait a minute here. So what's going on here? How is he rewriting reality? He's already essentially doing that in his original origin. So what's going on here? What more could he be doing here to rewrite reality? Let's find out. Let's find out here. Nope. Oh, wrong window there. I want to point out something here. Now, if you take a look at that artwork. That's actually not too bad artwork. It's a nice looking character, clean lines and everything, nice inking. The colors and everything. It's some pretty nice looking artwork, if you ask, in my humble opinion, for a cover, a comic book cover and everything. It's nice looking. I like the look of it. I do. That'll come into play here in just a minute. So, Spider-Man's old friend Nightwatch's bizarre and confounding origin story defies logic and the memories of most of his fellow Marvel heroes. What could they possibly be talking about here? It's defying the memories of most of his fellow Marvel heroes. What could they possibly be talking about? So I'm not necessarily going to read this word for word, but we're going to get into it here. So Peter Parker, Sloan Webs. Not every team up can be as prestigious as a collaboration with the President or a mission with the Avengers. Sometimes Spider-Man has had to work with some pretty bizarre heroes. Now, in my opinion, I don't really consider Nightwatch to be a bizarre hero. He's not bizarre. I mean, his uniform, his costume, it's fairly straightforward. It's scientifically based at this point. Everybody knows it's based on nanotechnology. That's not bizarre. Bizarre. If you want to talk bizarre, I mean, Spawn could possibly be considered bizarre. I mean, he's a Hellspawn. It's a living symbiotic Hellspawn symbiotic costume that could possibly be considered bizarre. But I mean, there's certain logic. There's logic to the costume, to the hero. Now, the only thing that's really out there is the fact that his future self came to the past and he got the costume from himself. So that's a bit of a mind trip. Now, if I remember correctly, CBR, I'm not actually a huge fan of CBR.com, if I'm remembering correctly. I think this might be be a good example as to why. I don't necessarily agree with some of their conclusions, let's put it that way. So, different, yes, different, interesting. It depends on where they were going with the thing, where he's coming from his future self is coming to the past and he ends up dying, and his past self claims the suit and everything. It's trippy. It's a bit of a mindfuck. Not necessarily in a bad way. It depends on how they play it out. That's where it really depends. I don't really consider that too bizarre. So Nightwatch first appeared in 1993's Web of the Spider-Man. So this is about a year before Nightwatch got his own miniseries. Didn't take him long. So that shows that there was some popularity with this character. But yet they're labeling him as bizarre. They're labeling this black superhero as bizarre. You don't see. The only reason I'm even making that statement is because modern pop culture, modern mainstream entertainment and media, they make this huge stink about the skin colors of characters, saying, "Oh, there's not enough black superheroes," but then they have no problem taking white superheroes and making them black. That's the only reason we're having this conversation, folks. Just you gotta love the Ajibaji. Okay, here we go. Let's see. They're saying he definitely belongs on the list of Spidey's weirdest allies. I 100% disagree with that statement. 100%. You want to talk about weird? Look at the Birds of Prey movie. That was weird. Those were some weird characters. No, Nightwatch was an interesting character. I liked the concept. Of the original Nightwatch. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So Kevin Trench was an ordinary man until the day a man in a suit made of nanotechnology. Nothing weird about that. That's not bizarre. That is science fiction. And that's relatively modern science fiction. It's like, oh, we're literally in the process of developing nanotechnology. Not nearly as advanced as what's going on in the world of comic books, but it does exist. It's not that bizarre. So I don't know what they're talking about here. I don't know what they're smoking. So when Trench pulled off the man's mask, as we already know, some found some similar. So yeah, he took the. So here's the thing. Now this issue that we just went through doesn't talk about it. Doesn't really show it. But what happens is he takes the costume and he runs away because he knows that somewhere in the future he goes back to the past and dies. So he's afraid of that fact. So it doesn't touch on issue number 1. I don't know where it talks about that. I don't know if it touches on that in the Spider-Man issues where he pops up as a guest or later on in the Nightwatch series. I don't know. So spoiler alert, he takes the costume, he runs away to an island, and he lives on that island for 10 years just hiding from the world, which is why in issue number 1 of Nightwatch, he talks to Spider-Man. He doesn't know who Spider-Man is, and he tells him, like, I've been away for a while. That's why he ran off to a deserted island with the suit. And stuff happens which draws him back into society. So this is not what I consider to be a strange, bizarre character. It's I don't know, man. I don't know what they're. I honestly don't know what they're talking about. These people, well, their idea of normal is probably pretty bizarre, if you ask me. Well, that's what I'm trying to say here. Trench lived in solitude on an island for years until shipwrecked Richard Fisk. Carl's Kingpin. His last name's Fisk. Makes me wonder if there's a connection. I don't know at this point. I would be surprised if there was not a connection between Richard. Oh, Spider-Man's Fisk. Is that? I forget his first name. I want to say Carl Fisk. I'm not. Oh, what's his freaking name? Kingpin. Hold on. Kingpin. Marvel. Carl Wilson. Wilson Fisk. He's the Kingpin. So that makes me wonder, where did he go? If there's a connection between this Richard Fisk and one Wilson Fisk, I'm not sure. Let's continue here. Fearing how dangerous the technology could be if on the wrong hands, this Fisk ends up on the island, runs off with one of the gauntlets. So he tries to track him down to get the gauntlet back so that the technology doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Blah 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 blah. Runs into Spider-Man, becomes a hero. That's the established origin of this character. Now here's where it gets interesting. More interesting. So in Charles Soule and Javier Pulido's 2014 She-Hulk series, 2014 folks, we jump from 1994 to 2014, 20 years later. 2014, this is 2 years after I made the decision to exit comic books. I exited comic books in 2012, 2013, had a moment of weakness, last gasp, desperation, purchase of Masters of the Universe, 3 issues, I think it was. But I was done. So this is after I left comic books, 2014. So the She-Hulk character, aka Jennifer Walters, she's actually an attorney in the comic book series. She stumbles across what is called a quote-unquote blue file, which is it's some lawsuit being brought against her and some other heroes and whatnot. But something she doesn't remember. She doesn't have memories of this lawsuit. But she stumbled across this blue file, which indicates that there is in fact this lawsuit. I'm glad you are amused, Remy. I'm glad you are amused. But it also includes, this lawsuit is also against somebody called Nightwatch. Now, the man instituting this lawsuit is one George Sawitz from North Dakota, from some North Dakota town. She doesn't remember this guy or the North Dakota town, nothing like that. It's all just a blank slate. Nobody remembers this. But the blue file exists. Even though nobody remembers it, there's that physical documentation proving that it is actually a thing. Like the new image frame. Oh, you talking about the recon scene here? Where I put it together a while ago, but I don't get the chance to use it much. So I'm glad you like it there, Remy. Because I personally like it. So it's like I'm glad other people like it. Like, I don't get to use it very much, so it's really cool being able to put it to work here. No, I've had it for a while. I've actually had it for a while, but I stumbled across this morning, so I just had to. Yeah. No, I've got ideas for other scenes and stuff like that. I've got. Let's see, what do we got here? So I've got 3 scenes that I can use, and I only use 2 of them regularly. So this is I don't think it's the first time I've used it, but it has been a really long time. And yeah, no, it's really cool being. I'm glad you like it. So keep in mind, this is from 2014, the She-Hulk series. This is not part of the Nightwatchers. This is not part of the original story. This is from 2014 She-Hulk. They discover this blue file, this lawsuit from somebody that supposedly doesn't exist, or they have no memory of existing, about a town that nobody has any memory of existing. Now, on the surface, this is an intriguing concept. On the surface, let's keep diving here, deep diving here. Now, according to this article, at first she's reluctant to look into the case too thoroughly. Something about it's nagging at her, apparently. But her assistant, Angie Huang, does some research and uncovers a dark and bizarre explanation for the mysterious blue file suit. Brace yourself. What is this? What is this? What is this? Wait. So from 1994, we go from this 1994 to that. What is that? What is that? Look at this. Compare that. Look at this. That is not the same thing. It's like that is a pale mockery of this. What the funky comment? Look at the detail on this. There's details on this suit, on this character. There's details. And then you look at that monstrosity. Look at it. There's no details. It's just like it's a rough sketch of this. And then they put it into the comic book. Like what is this? What the funky Coladina, man? I mean, we're already off to a bad start here. What is this nonsense? What the? Exactly. Yeah, those boobs. I wouldn't call those boobs. It's just so it's I wouldn't call those boobs, but I don't. It's just there's not enough detail to call them boob. It's not. No, it's not a dress. That's the cape behind them and everything. Milk? Milk could be, maybe. I don't know what it's supposed to be. The white stuff coming up from the ground, I think that's supposed to be like steam or something like that. See, now you're confusing me. Like, I'm not even sure what you're referring to now, Remy. It's like, what? At this point, it's just a big old whiskey tango foxtrot. It's a train wreck. It's just there's no talent. There's no talent in this scene here. That's no talent. That is a no talent drawing right there. Take a look at this. That's talent. This is 1994, right here, 1994. That is 2014. We're going at this point. We're going backwards, not forwards. And that's just the artwork. The costume. I mean, the costume looks terrible. The other superheroes in the background look terrible. But then we get to the story. Hold on, we're just getting started here. From a distance, it looks like a black bikini top. Heavily alludes. Okay, I can see where you're. Okay, I can. Yeah, like on my screen, it's big enough where I can see it. But then looking up there, from your point of view, I can see what you're talking about, and that just makes it even weirder. It's not a dress. He's crouching down, and then his cape is coming down behind him and touching the ground behind him. Looks like he'll come up with good. But that's what you're seeing there, Remy, is a great example of how bad this drawing is. Because I mean, the details there's no detail. It's boring. It's uninspired. There's no talent here. There's no details. You can't. It makes it difficult to figure out what you're looking at. Like, what is this? And this is just the artwork. Let's get into the actual story here. So it turns out Kevin Trench has never been who he says he is. Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Kevin Trench, aka Nightwatch, has never been who he says he is. Who he says he is a black superhero with interesting costume, fairly interesting, origin story and whatnot. It was interesting enough for me to be interested in the character. But he's not who he says he is. What do you mean by that? What is that? Elusive gendering. That's part of it. Yes, that is absolutely part of it. That's this whole thing, elusive gendering, especially with the modern artwork. It's meant to confuse. It's meant to confuse you. Be like, well, what is that a man? Is that a woman? It's. See, they make the claim, oh, gender is a social construct, but then they use this, modern comic books to completely create their own construct of gender, and it's like, it doesn't make any sense. You're looking at it, it's like, what the hell am I looking at? I got no idea. It's because it's their own construct, their own gender construct that has nothing to do with physical, biological, scientific reality. I am a certified biologist. Don't push this shit on me because I'm not buying it. It's like, what? Yeah, no, that's elusive gendering. That's a good way of putting it, Remy. That's exactly what it is. It's to confuse you about what the gender is and all that. And these, like, that's She-Hulk, but it looks like, I don't know what it's supposed to be. And these are, it's just nonsense. It's freaking nonsense. So they're coming out of the gates. Trench isn't who he says he is. He's never been. So, oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Hold on here. So years ago, he went by the name Night Eater and was in fact a super villain. Wait a minute. Whoa, stop the presses. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Wait a minute. So Nightwatch is not in fact a black superhero. Nightwatch is in fact Night Eater, a black supervillain. That's an interesting switch right there. So let me get this straight here. So modern comic books, comic books, movies, you got Nick Fury. They're doing it to Captain America. Jimmy Olsen. They're get the Batman, Commissioner Gordon. They're taking these white characters, by and large heroic characters. They're making them black. They're making them black. But then it gets better. It gets better. They take this black superhero character. He's a bona fide superhero. He's a bona fide black man. And they turn him into a black supervillain. Why? Why are they doing this? Why? It makes no sense whatsoever. They make this huge stink about how there are no black superheroes. They take all of these white superheroes established over decades and decades and decades of comic books, and they turn them black. Their excuse, there are no black superheroes. But then they have this black superhero from 1994, and they turn him into a black supervillain. What is going on here, folks? What? Can somebody explain this to me? Because it's not making a lick of sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. There's no logic to this, folks. No logic to it whatsoever. They whine and bitch and complain. There are no black superheroes. But then they get a black superhero and they turn him into a black super villain. But it gets better. So the entire premise is that he's been beaten down by superheroes time and again. He's a black supervillain. He gets his ass handed to him time and time again. So then he gets this idea. Night Eater. Not Nightwatch. Night Eater. So he gets these other super villains to help him out. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me how. These other black. He goes to these other villains. He's like, hey guys, I want people to think I'm a hero. Help me rewrite reality. And for some reason they go along with it. Don't ask me why. It doesn't make a lick of frickin' sense. There's no logic to it whatsoever. Why the hell these other super villains? Like, hey, you want people to think you're a superhero? Okay, yeah, let me pitch in with that. What? That is not something that's what? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any damn sense. So they're using a combination of magic and vibrational energy to restructure reality. Which is, here's the thing, it's not so much restructuring reality. Based on what I've read, like they're not even, oh my lord, are you kidding me with this? My brain is struggling to process this because it's so just nonsensical. They're not even really restructuring reality. Here's the key thing. They're not restructuring reality. They're brainwashing people. They're using magic and vibrational energy to brainwash people into forgetting that Nightwatch, or the Night Eater, was the supervillain, and changing their memories to make them think that he was Nightwatch, a hero. They're not actually changing reality. They're not changing the stuff that he did. He still did those things as Night Eater, the supervillain. He still did those things. So reality is nothing's changed. It's their memories that have changed. They can't even get the freaking story right, folks. This is how stupid these people are. They can't even write the story correctly. So number one, they're retconning the shit out of this character, this black superhero. They're retconning him to hell and back. But on top of that, they cannot even write a realistic story to explain what's going on here. It just, there's no logic to it. There's no realistic structure to it. It's literally just a hodgepodge of crap that they're mashing together, and then they're making this crap sculpture out of it. And it's like, are you kidding me with this? I can write better stuff than this. This is insulting. I have written better stuff than this. You've never read it. Nobody's ever read it. Very few people read it, but I've written better stuff than this. Come on. You want me to pay money for this? It's not happening. This is just insulting. I'm almost at a loss for words at this point. Like, come on. You gotta be kidding me with this. I don't even know what to say. It's just that stupid, outrageous, and insulting. I don't even know what to say. So let's continue. So the only person that remembers any of this that went down was George Sawitz, hence the lawsuit, and he's suing these superheroes for some strange reason, even though they're not responsible for it. And somehow, instead of suing Night Eater, he's suing Nightwatch, even though this memory swap didn't take a hold on him. He doesn't know who Nightwatch is. He only knows who Night Eater is. But he's suing Nightwatch. Like, what? Why? Why would he not be suing Night Eater? Night Eater is the guy he knows. He doesn't know this Nightwatch character because the memory swap never took hold. It never took place in his mind. He doesn't know who Nightwatch is. He knows Night Eater. Why would he be? It doesn't make any damn lick of sense. What? God. Oh my God. I mean, this is turning into a Rebel rant at this point. That Rebel rage is kicking it. It's just like, I can't with this, man. This is why I left comic books in 2012. I couldn't take it anymore. This right here is a beautiful example of it, of the nonsense and malarkey and bullshit. This is why I left comic books. This took place in 2014, 2 years after I made that decision. No, I made the right decision at the right time because, oh my gosh, man. Oh my goodness. Like, I might have had a freaking aneurysm if I had read this back then. It just doesn't make there's no logic to it. It doesn't make any damn sense. But these people don't care if it makes sense. They just want to push an agenda. They will just smash anything together. They will take different elements, mash them together. It doesn't matter if they don't fit. It's like taking a jigsaw puzzle and you're taking the pieces and well, it doesn't fit, but I'm gonna make it fit. I'm gonna smash it in there. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna make this puzzle look like what I want it to look like. Doesn't matter that it's not created that way. Doesn't matter that it wasn't cut that way. It was cut to look a certain way, to create a certain picture. But I'm gonna take the pieces, I'm gonna mash them together any which way I want. Because I'm gonna make the picture that I want, even if it looks like a just horrendous, monstrous load of nonsense. It doesn't. It's the definition of insanity. Oh, I'm getting fired up here. I wasn't expecting that. No, this was shocking enough when I read it the first time. Now we're streaming it. This is not what I was expecting. This is like, This is the true dark secret of Nightwatch. Not the fact that he's black. That's not the true dark secret of Nightwatch. This is the dark secret of Nightwatch, folks. That they don't want you to see. They don't want you to realize this. They want you to focus on the here and now. What they're shoving in your face. The nonsense, the insane jigsaw puzzle that they mash together in their own way. It has no rhyme, logic, or reason. It is an assault on your senses, but they don't want you to realize that. They don't want you to they don't want you to think that questioning this insanity is the same thing to do. They want you to think that you're stupid and wrong in questioning this insanity. They want you to embrace the insanity right along with them. It's never going to happen here in the House of G. Let me tell you. It's never going to happen here in the House of G. This channel's never going to make money, folks. It's never. YouTube will not allow it. Why? Because this is the perfect example. This is lunacy. This is just the sheer lunacy, folks. They're retconning the hell out of this character. It is a black superhero, and they're retconning him to hell and back, turning him into oh. I'm not done yet. I almost forgot. And it doesn't say it here. Wait a minute. No. It does. There's one more point. One more key point here, folks. One more key point. Let me. I almost forgot. In the process, Trench and his companions destroyed an entire town full of people to use as fuel for their mental energy. The only person, and I'm pretty sure this George Sawitz was from this town. Somehow he survived. I don't know. Maybe he was on vacation, business trip. I don't know. They obliterated an entire town full of innocent people in order to give Night Eater a second chance as Nightwatch the superhero. Why would these villains do this? Why would they do this? Why would they? It doesn't make any damn sense. They're villains. They're not doing it as some part of some big overreaching plot. They're doing it because the Night Eater, he's tired of losing. He's tired of losing. He's tired of being the bad guy. Why the fuck would these other villains try to help him become a hero? It doesn't make any damn sense. What the fuck, folks? What is going on? What have we come to? Our pop culture, our entertainment, what is this? War on the common sense. That is exactly what it is, Remy. It is a war on common sense. It is a war on logic. It is a war on reason. It is a war on sanity itself. This is not where when I stumbled across this a week and a half ago. I cannot make this up. You understand, folks? I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. When I came across this in my collection a week and a half ago, I was excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about this guy. And I remember having I had some good feelings about it. I was excited. I was happy. I was looking forward to it. I was like, this is going to be such a cool story. It's going to be such a cool story. And then I stumbled across this. Maybe an hour, 2 hours max before the stream started, I stumbled across this. And the excitement, the fun, the happiness, it turned into dismay, shock, disbelief. It's not how I plan. That's not what I planned this to be. This is what they turned it into, folks. They took my joy. They took my joy. And they turned it into this. The space of a heartbeat. Pisses me off. Son of a bitch. I just can't with this. This is why I left comic books in 2012, because they were taking my joy and they were turning it into this lunacy. Yeah, Towns destroyed by my. It's not. That's not where they're. No, they're this. It's got nothing to do with that, Remy. They're straight up just. They destroyed the town for the sake of the town, for the sake of the story. They did it specifically to turn this hero, this black hero, into a black villain, in one of the worst monstrous types of villains. He destroyed a town full of innocent people in order to brainwash the entire world into thinking that he was a hero. That is like the worst type of villain you can imagine. Because he succeeded. Everybody thought that this mass murdering psychopath was in fact a black hero. But we can't have that. We can't have that in modern pop culture. We can't have that in modern entertainment. You can't have legitimate black heroes. Even though they whine and they cry and they cancel. They cancel left and right. Cancel left and right. Diversity. Inclusiveness. Where's our black heroes? They exist, you freaking assholes. They exist. You just don't like them. You don't want them. You don't want black heroes. You want to destroy white heroes and replace them with black simps. That's what you want. The journey feels like we've been exposing crimes. That's exactly what we're doing here, folks. We're exposing the truth. We're deep diving. We're not. This isn't one of those other pop culture channels, folks, that's riding the fence, that's playing upon popular trends for the sake of a buck. I am the original geek. I'm the original gamer. I was a geek and a gamer before it was popular. I was a geek and a gamer before most of these guys were born. This is what passion looks like, folks. I love comic books. I've always loved comics ever since I was a kid. Not for financial gain, because I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the stories, I enjoyed the universes. This is my childhood passion on display, folks. And what they've done to it, they've ratcheted it, destroyed it, turned it upside down, turned it into this lunacy that pisses me off. Can't wait this stuff up. Can't wait this stuff up. Holy shit. Man, the decades that I've been alive, I never saw this coming. I dedicated 10 years of my life. Biology, medicine. This is not what I was expecting in the future of my life to become. I'm not complaining. I enjoy doing this. I love doing this. It just wasn't what I planned on. It wasn't what I expected, but here we are. Hey, you're right. You're right, Remy. It's a journey. It feels like we've been exposed. That's exactly what we're doing. We're exposing the stuff for what it really is. I'm not here to make a quick buck. I'm not here to do the popular thing. I'm not here to ride the trends. I'm here to deep dive into the truth of pop culture and entertainment, comic books, gaming, movies, television, you name it. This is just the beginning here, folks. This is my childhood right here. They've decimated my childhood. And I am not happy about it. Not one bit. I hope it pisses you off enough to produce your own. Remy, I've had my own concept for a comic book universe for over 20 years at this point. I came up with my own. It was just never. And I have tried. I talked to people. I'm not an artist. Like the drawing, the artwork aspect. My level of artwork might be as good as this right here. This might be where my artwork is at. Which is why I'm not satisfied with it. This is not what I want to produce. The writing, the creation, creating the characters, I can do. But the artwork, I need an artist. And I've tried. I've tried to talk to people that were artists. They could actually draw this stuff. And after the initial conversation, they were into it. They were interested in it. They were excited about it. Then they would literally drop off the planet. I would never hear from them again. I've never understood it. I've never had an explanation for it. But I do. I have my own universe. I have my own characters. I have my own ideas. And more than that, I'm telling you, I could take these characters, not just Nightwatch, Captain America, Iron Man, Batman, Superman. I could restore these characters to their former glory, to what they were originally created to be. Why? Because I respect the characters. I respect the people, the men that created these characters. I respect their vision. Like these companies do not. These companies have no respect for these characters. They have zero respect for the creators of the characters. They have zero respect for the vision of these characters. I'm never going to be in that position. I'm not going to ever be in a position to be able to do something about that stuff, about the, you know, the established characters, Superman, Batman, Captain America, stuff like that. I'm never going to be in that position. It's just a fact of life. But I do have my own ideas for my own universe, my own characters. It's just, it's been a dream, but it's one that I have attempted to pursue it. It's just never worked out. So do it. It could be time. I know artists. My projects have been being performed 20 years. It's time. I'm gonna type. Wrong timing, maybe. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. There's no doubt about that. If you have the vision, that's the largest part of the match. I do believe I have the vision, especially now. You know, I mean, over, you know, lifetime, it's like, ideas, got ideas. I think they're cool ideas, but, you know, will everybody else think they're cool? I don't know. At this point in my life, I finally believe that, yes, I do have the vision for it. And it's by and far, this right here is proof that my vision is greater than anything that these combined yahoos could ever possibly even hope to dream of. Creativity, the creative, the divine inspiration. Well, here's the thing. God created everything, including me. I am made in the image of God. I have the spark of divinity within my cells, within my soul. Creation is divine by its very nature. So yeah, divine inspiration. That's what it is. This is just shocking to say the least. What is this nonsense? They whine and they complain. There's not enough black representation. But when they get it, what do they do with it? They turn it on its ear. And they turn it into an abomination. These people are full of shit. If this doesn't convince you of that, nothing will. I just can't with this, man. So yeah, the secret of Nightwatch isn't that he's black. No, this is the true dark secret of Nightwatch. Trust me, they don't want you to understand it. They don't want you to see the truth in it. We're on the level to make things happen. I hope that's true because pop culture's in trouble there. I mean, comic book stuff. We're on that level. It's in trouble. It is in a lot of. And here's the thing. I mean, it goes deeper than pop culture. It goes into society, politics, stuff like that. It does. Pop culture is supposed to be about entertainment, just escapism. But they turned it into something else. Pop culture matters, and this is why. It's huge. What's going on is huge. I'm not sure people realize how huge it is. Yeah, I don't think they realize the magnitude of it. No, I hope. Hope springs eternal. And I believe. If I didn't believe, I wouldn't have these channels running. If I didn't hope and if I didn't believe, I would not be doing these channels. No, I'd be off in the mountains building a cabin, learning how to live off the land. If I didn't hope, if I didn't believe, that's what I would be doing right now. There's outrage out. No. There's you gotta look for the signs, the symbols, the flags, both the white flags, the red flags, whatever color flags. This nonsense is failing. What they're doing here, what they're doing to this character, it's failing. It's failing left and right. Look at the ratings for the Batwoman series. Less than a little over 300,000 viewers for an episode. That's insanely bad. Back in the day, I mean, it would have been canceled way before then, before it became such a blatant embarrassment. But now they're propping this crap up. But if I didn't hope, if I didn't believe, I wouldn't be doing this. The pop culture matters. It does. It really does. It's an indicator of what's going on in society at large. I hope and believe. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. It's all good. It's all good. We're all about to find out how huge I believe. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, there are people that they're close. They get to the edge and then they step back, and I can't tell if it's because they're just riding the fence, if they're hypocrites, if they're just trying to make a buck, trying to ride the trends for fame and fortune on whatever level, or if they honestly see it, if they honestly believe it, but they're not ready to take that final leap, that final step. I don't know. Only they know for sure. I'm not Professor X. I can't read their minds. I don't know what's in their hearts. But this right here, Nightwatch. I mean, this is just what they've done to this character is outright criminal, and it's just like this is all the evidence you need. They are just pushing an absolute insane agenda. It's an agenda of insanity, of the exact. It's chaos. There's no logic to it. There's no reason to it. It's literally just like pulling stuff out of thin air, mashing it together like the world's biggest jigsaw puzzle. Piece after piece, just mash it. They don't go together, but they don't care. They make it fit. You know, it doesn't. It doesn't fit in the picture. It never makes sense. It's a picture of insanity. They don't care. They will mash those pieces together. And you better like it. You better like it, because if you don't, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Or know what to do without biblical knowledge. You think most don't know what they're doing right now, or know what to do without biblical knowledge. They must feel awful and lost. That's the question, Remy. That's the question. But when you got people like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, who was basically claiming to be a founding member of the Phantom Menace, and then a year later is claiming that he has nothing to do with the Phantom Menace, that's where I stopped being able to give them the benefit of the doubt. And that's when I start thinking that they're just doing this for fame and fortune. So that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem, right? That's the problem I'm having. So, oh my goodness, yeah. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, Remy. I would love to, like, I got my comic book idea, stuff like that. I would love to, if that's still a dream, to get that done someday. And I got my book. I made a lot of progress on my book, but I still got a long ways to go on that. But then with my main channel, Rebel Squadron, I'm creating another universe for Rebel Squadron. It's a whole nother universe, and this one's science fiction. It's based on science fiction. Like, I'm working on crap across the board. Once in the fast, and there shortly plans trolls creeps. You cracked me up, Remy. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, and then they sometimes, and then they'll say or do something, and it just makes it extremely difficult to give them the benefit of that doubt. It's I got my ideas. I got comic books. I got my book I'm working on. I got my new channel with a whole new universe that I'm building. I know I can do this stuff better than mainstream media is doing. I know I can do it better than them. I might not be the best at it, but I'm definitely better at what they're pushing out today. So I'm gonna do what I can. My little YouTube channel. I'm gonna do what I can. That's where I'm at, and this is a perfect example as to why. So there you have it. This is what is this? What is this bullshit? What is this? This stuff is a surprise, like, every single time. I think it's gonna go this way, and then boom, it takes like this whole tangent, unexpected tangent, like into freaking lunacy, insane-ville that you can't see coming. Content matters, it does. Yeah, content matters, pop culture matters. This stuff matters, folks. It does. It legitimately. It does. It matters. It matters. They're screwing my childhood, and they're screwing with the good parts of my childhood. They're screwing with the good memories that I have. And those memories, they mean a lot to me. They mean more to me than people might realize. I'm not standing for it. I'm not putting up with it. So I'll do what I can with my tiny little channel. I'll do what I can. I don't know what all that's going to be, but I'll do what I can. It does seem to be the pattern, and you love it. Okay, no, it's good. Yeah, there's definitely a pattern, no doubt about that. And I've always been good at catching patterns, you know, and unraveling them over time. So that's what we're going to keep doing here. Preserve those meme pies. I like that. Preserve those meme pies. It's all I'm saying. That's what we're gonna do our best to do that. So there you have it, folks. The true dark secret of Nightwatch, and the perfect example of the sheer lunacy of modern pop culture and entertainment, mainstream media. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's literal lunacy, folks. It just in your face, literal lunacy and insanity. It's just, there's no logic, there's no reason. It doesn't make any damn sense. It's just, the hypocrisy is just on such a level that it can be classified as criminal at best. And you just gotta keep fighting. Memories, haha. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Remy. Hopefully, anybody else that's watching, hopefully you're enjoying yourself too. So it's like, all right, folks. I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this House of G. As usual, as I've come to expect the unexpected. Because, yeah, like I said earlier, found this in my collection, and I was excited. I was happy. I was like, I remembered that cover. I was like, yeah, I remember that being a cool looking character. I couldn't remember a whole lot about the story and anything, but I had good feelings associated with it. And when I went through it, yeah, those good feelings, those memories of good feelings were validated. Then stumbled across this, and just it flipped everything on its ear. Can't make this stuff up. When pendulum swings so far in one direction, there's a point it must swing the other. Yeah. But the only question is, how far does it swing before it starts coming back? Is it about to come back, or is it about to get way worse than anybody can imagine? That's the question. Are we about to come back in that swing, or is it about to swing so far that nobody could ever imagine it swinging that far? That's the question for him. I'm fighting for it to come back. You feel you're responsible for any of your tears, so that's where I'm at, Remy. I gotta entertain myself at this point, because modern pop culture is failing miserably. There's nothing. You got Superman and Lois. That was a great show, and CW sabotaged their own show. They did it on purpose. It was off the air for 2 months. They lost half their viewership because nobody knew it came back. It came back just like a week ago. I had no idea. I was wondering. I was like, when is this show supposed to come back on? I actually like this show. I actually want to watch this show. I had no idea when it's supposed to come back on because I don't have cable. I don't have cable because it's all trash. Now it's back. I had no idea. They lost half their viewership. They sabotaged their own show on purpose. These people are nuts, Remy. These people are lunatics. They belong in an asylum. They shut down on asylums, and look what happened. They got jobs in entertainment. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make it up. Yeah, I don't want to think on the worst case scenario either. I don't want to think on it either. That's what I'm fighting. But no, that's why people need to keep that in the back of their mind. That's why we're fighting. That's why we're fighting for pop culture. because it can get worse. That's why we gotta fight for it. That's why we gotta fight the good fight. Bring back the good stuff. The stuff that makes sense, logic, reason, inspires, it uplifts, gives us, reminds us that good things can happen. Even when it's at its darkest. It's always darkest before the dawn. And I'm praying to God that the dawn is nearly upon us. All right, folks. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. Saying, don't we bring up what happens to the brain when drinking. Don't. Please don't get my stream like banned or something. No. If nothing else gets my channel banned, it's going to be that, Remy. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. That's not something we can talk about on YouTube. They will not allow that. They won't allow that. They will not allow that. No, I can say some stuff on that, and I'm not going to say it because that will, if nothing else, that will get this banned right now. It's all good, Remy. It's all good. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just YouTube. Maybe back in the day, in the Wild West days of YouTube, probably could have talked about that. Nowadays, there's no. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's all good. Don't be sorry, Remy. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. No. Like I said, I'm not. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's not you. It's YouTube. It's YouTube. It's not you. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. No. You don't worry. I didn't say it out loud. It's in the. That's the thing. If it's in the super chat, they don't care. If it's as long as it's in the super chat, they don't care. I can't say it out loud. I could probably have like captions, and it'd be fine. But as long as I don't verbalize it, that's the crazy. As long as I don't verbalize it, it's okay. If it's in captions, if it's typed out, doesn't matter. If I personally, me on my end of the stream, if I verbalize it, that's a no-go. Try to wrap your mind around that. Try to wrap your mind around that. Try to figure that one out, because I still can't. Oh yeah, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, don't even worry about it, Remy. It's trust me, you didn't. As long as I didn't verbalize it, that's the key thing. That is the key thing. So. As crazy as it sounds, that is the truth right there. Because I'm not disagreeing with you. Trust me. I will make that clear. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. And like I said, there are things I could say about that. I can't. I'd like to. I would like to be able to say it, but I can't. Oh, boom shakalaka. Here we it's been a day. Let me tell you, it has been a day. All right, let's okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and start wrapping this one up here, folks. It's been an interesting stream, unexpected stream as always. It's been pretty crazy for me on my end. Some stuff, yeah. Some of it went as expected, some of it was unexpected, and that seems to be the norm at this point. So if you're looking to expect the unexpected, I just keep coming back, hit that subscribe button, keep an eye out for the stream every Monday. I try to start at 1, what is it, 1, I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the House of G. And sometimes I'm a little bit late because I just got so much going on. But I try to hit it right about 1 o'clock. And yes, that's every week, Monday. So make sure you keep that in mind. We're gonna wrap things up here in just a minute. That's must be using sound pulse really, which is well, I mean, when it's very easy for them to, they just use algorithms that go through the audio. It goes through the audio track of the video or the live stream, and they can process spoken language. It's a very easy thing for them to do now. It's very common technology. What the House of the Unexpected with the boss Bob Ross of comics. where you come up with this stuff from. It's good stuff. I might have to steal that one. I might have to steal that one. That's a good one, Rumi. Thank you for that. No, that's great. I freaking love it. That's amazing. That is an amazing compliment right there. You have no idea. It's all yours. I appreciate that, Remy. I do. I really do. I just got to figure out how to work it in there. No, it's such an incredible compliment. I appreciate that. Because people love Bob Ross. So to be compared to him like that is just, it's an amazing compliment. I want to say thank you. You have no idea. It's like, who doggy? Okay, folks. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. I think I keep coming back because I make you laugh, and then I. It's not a bad reason to come back. Hey, whatever it is that brings you back, that's hey, that's the important thing. There could be, any number of reasons why somebody keeps coming back to the House of G. So far, you're the only steady viewer that I've got, but I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that you like to hang out here and have fun here on the House of G. So I appreciate it, Remy. It's like I do. Because it's viewers like you that take it to like a whole new level. Like I can sit here and jibber jabber all day long, just speaking to myself and everything, and that's fine. But when I get a viewer like you that's active and engaging, it takes it to a whole new level. It's an incredible experience. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I really do. I appreciate you being there every Monday. It's if and when my main channel takes off and I can afford to hire somebody to take care of some of the grunt work, like the editing and stuff like that, I'll be able to focus more on this. I'll be able to split my time up more between the two, and I'll be able to do more with this one. I would love to be able to get both channels to take off. I don't know how, it's just, I can't imagine how that's going to happen or how to do it. I'm learning by the seat of my pants as I go. There's so much friction. It's not a liar pants on fire situation. It's a simple flying by the seat of my pants. So much friction. My pants are just self-combusting. It's like, it's just pure friction at this point. So, cricket. My pants are burning. I'm flying by the seat of my pants so fast and hard. Who knows? The sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Well, Remy, if it happens, it's not because I can't do it on my own without an audience, without people like you hanging out, watching, enjoying the stream, taking it to that next level. It's people like you that are going to make it a possibility. So, no cloning, no cloning. That's just a bad idea. The science is fascinating. The science behind it is absolutely fascinating, but the real world implementation is such a bad idea. We're not getting into that. That is the biologist of me speaking. So it's always a good time to be alive. It just depends on how you view life, how you get through life. It's I'm learning that it's always a good time to be alive. It's always a good time to be alive. Just yeah. It just depends on the world and what kind of battles we're fighting. These are the battles we're fighting today. So we'll get through it one way or the other. We'll get through it. All right, Udogi. Okay, let's go and wrap this up here. Okay, sorry. Cricket. I started off. The intention was to do like an hour and a half stream, and we routinely hit 3 hours at this point. It's just like I'm not complaining. I enjoy doing this. I love doing this. It's just it's taking on a life of its own. And I just originally meant just the whole point starting off was to just go through and relive the glory days of comic books, the stuff, to go over the stuff that made me fall in love with comic books to begin with. And it is literally taking on a life of its own. I can't even explain it. See you on the flip side. Yeah, I will do that. See you on the flip side there, Remy. You have yourself a fantastic Monday with what's left of it. Hopefully this helps you kick off your week strong and positive and whatnot. Not just you, Remy, but anybody else that happens to be watching. So you have yourself a fantastic week there, a fantastic Monday. And I'll definitely see you on the flip side. Like I said, every Monday, I believe it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I think that's like 3 or 4. No. Going the other way. So what is that? I'm so bad with the time zones. So if it's 1 here, it's got to be like 10 or something like that. Pacific time or something like that. And yeah, an hour each issue. No, it's 4. There's usually 4 issues. So the first issue took an hour. The second and third took about 20-30 minutes each. And then the last hour to an hour and a half was all about Nightwatch. And this mostly unscripted. Like I did a little bit of research before this one on Nightwatch, and that was it. It's like this one was like 99% unscripted. So most of them are unscripted. This is all just like me just putting it out there. 11 Pacific. Well, 1 o'clock, 12, 11. That's at least 3 hours minimum. So it's gotta be like 10. It's gotta be at least 10 a.m. Pacific. But I mean, I forget. I'm glad you're not complaining. It's always good to hear. All right, Remy, and anybody else that may be watching. I hope to see you again soon. Next Monday, every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whatever that is across the country. And philosophical. Well, hey, comic books, pop culture. In spite of what they want you to believe, there's a great deal of philosophical and stuff going on behind pop culture. They don't want you to realize that. They want you to just drink that pop culture juice without thinking about it, without tasting it. They just down it in the hatch, boom. Thank you, may I have another? That's what they want. They don't want you thinking. No, that's the thing about pop culture, comic books, science fiction, fantasy. It's there to make you think. That is the purpose, is to make you think. Modern pop culture, they don't want you to think. They don't want you to contemplate. They don't want you to question it. They want you to consume it without thought, without rationale, without reason, without logic. Just drink it and be happy and ask for some more. That is modern pop culture. And it's trash. It's people honestly, if they want to catch the stream, they are more than capable of figuring out the time difference. Let's put it that way. I simply don't have the time to do it. I don't have the time to do it. All right, Remy. I'm gonna wrap this up here. So, oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. You guys have a great one. You have a great one, Remy. Thank you for hanging out. You've been very steady, very regular. I appreciate it. You have no idea. It makes this experience. I have fun doing this regardless. But when I got somebody like you hanging out, it just takes it to a whole nother level. I just want to say thank you, doggy. All right, you have yourself a fantastic day, fantastic Monday, rolling into the week. Have a great week there, and we're smart. I like to think so. Let's go ahead and just roll with that, and not question it. Ooh, doggy. So yeah, yep. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. This has been another House of G speaking in the void. You have yourself a fantastic week. I'll see you on the flip side.